Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
At Doran Park, the Bourne Braves host the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in Game 1 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Division Series. Gone are the days of single elimination on the Cape, and with that, Hyannis automatically avoids a fourth straight one-and-done against Bourne. The top-seeded Braves are red-hot entering the playoffs, while Hyannis needed the help of a crosstown rival to make the postseason. But it's time to toss the records and play postseason baseball on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Folks, how lucky are we? Welcome to playoff baseball on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Diamond side at Doran Park for Game 1 of the Division Series. With Graham Nash and Max Schwartzberg, I'm Giovanni Collada. Max, Hyannis struggled to end its season, but it finds itself here playing postseason baseball yet again.
This is Game 1 of the new season. Whatever's happened before, that is over with. Hyannis has its own chance to write its narrative. This is a new path for both the Braves and the Harbor Hawks. They're able to turn that page. Hyannis does come into this one a little bit slow, losers of the last 3 games on the Cape, but it was in the last game, it was really the hitting that didn't stand out because the pitching was nails. 2
walk-off losses as well precede that final Sunday against Wareham, a 3-0 loss at McKeon Park. That was just wild. And Graham, these teams have played a couple of wild games this year. Hyannis won 3 out of the 5. That was some revenge from last year's one-and-done against the Braves in the opening round of the playoffs a year ago.
Yeah, not just a year ago. Hyannis has lost 4 straight in the playoffs in the postseason to this Bourne Braves team. So now the Harbor Hawks are trying to carry some of that momentum into the postseason against this Bourne Braves squad. But I think the biggest thing to note about last season coming into this season of the playoffs, last season, Hyannis was the top dogs in the West. The Harbor Hawks, they went on a big hot streak to end that season, claimed the top spot. The Braves kind of snuck their way in and then slowly started to take down the West Division, getting to that final game against Harwich. This year it's kind of it's switched totally. The Braves, they're on top. They found their hot streak to end the season, and Hyannis has been struggling. They just barely at the last second possible got into this postseason, and so they're coming in as the underdogs now. Like you said, there's no one-and-done situation, so that will probably benefit Hyannis more than it would Bourne. Bourne coming in on a big win streak, Hyannis on a losing streak.
Well, the Braves have made 2 of the last 3 Cape Cod Baseball League championships. Hyannis looking for its first title since 1991. For manager Mitch Carricker, that journey starts today, and I caught up with him pregame. Giovanni Collada with manager Mitch Carricker ahead of Game 1. Coach, the playoffs are here. You told me before the season that you preferred the 3-game series to last year's single elimination. What's the benefit of the new playoff format in your mind?
Well, I think for us, it just challenges your depth a little bit, right? You can run into one really good arm, which we did last year, and tip your hat to Bourne. They played really well, but you run into one really good arm that has a good night. It's tough to win. Now you got to beat them twice, which makes things a little bit different, right? You got to see multiple arms. So the depth of your pitching staff gets challenged a little bit more, and so hopefully that bodes well for us in this series.
You mentioned last year's game against Bourne. The Braves went all the way to the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship. What's it going to take to beat the Braves this year?
Yeah, I mean, they're consistently in the finals the last 3 years, right? They've been really, really good. Coach Landers does an awesome job preparing those guys for the playoffs. And so for us, it's just going to be playing clean baseball like we've talked about all season. If we can play good defense and throw strikes, I think we give ourselves a chance to be in the game, and then we just need to scratch across enough runs to win a game.
You come into this game off the heels of one of the wildest final days in recent Cape League memory. What's been the message to the guys over the last 48 hours?
Yeah, I mean, clean slate. We got a chance to get in, and anything can happen at this point.
Game 1 of the division series up next. Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Guys? Well, Graham, you heard Coach Carricker say it. He likes the fact that his team can show its true identity across 3 games.
For good reason. I mean, last year, Hyannis came in as one of the top offenses in the entire Cape Cod Baseball League, and it got totally shut down by Griffin Hughes, the Bourne pitcher that started that game. 5 scoreless for Hughes. It was just lockdown pitching that entire ball game. Bourne went on to win 5-1. So now that Hyannis has the opportunity to play a little bit of the long game, show, like Coach said, that their bullpen has a bit more longevity, a bit more stamina than last year, and just being able to do a little bit more with it this season. That is huge for a team that, again, is on a bit of a cold streak.
And you heard Coach Carricker say that it shows the true depth of a roster as well. Across the 3-game series, managerial decisions come in at all factors. We saw a couple of decisions in the 5 games these teams played this year, Max. A couple of wild finishes as well. Everything from a lightning delay to a 12-0 run rule.
Well, Hyannis takes the season series 3-2, and this one had all of the wildness, as you mentioned, because Hyannis second in the Cape League in walks. Bourne first. We've seen a lot of that throughout this season. Of course, that 6-hour game with the 93-minute weather delay was pretty crazy. Then Hyannis, a 12-0 run rule win. It was all over the place, and there's no reason to believe that this game's not going to be just as electric.
Game 1 just mere moments away, and our sideline reporters caught up with a few of the Hyannis players prior to it. First, Ava Fernandez with Dayton LaChance, and then Ethan Wax with first baseman Gabe Camacho. We'll see you on the other side.
Ava Fernandez alongside Dayton LaChance, and Dayton was our hitter of the week this week with a .304 batting average, 5 RBIs, and 2 home runs. Dayton, walk me through those approaches at those home runs. What was it like?
Yeah, I mean, I hit a lot of homers this season in JUCO, so it was fun to just start to put the ball in the air a little bit here in the Cape, and I mean, at the right moment too. At the end of the season, it's important to be hot, so it's gonna be a fun moment tonight.
Yeah, and what were you kind of looking for those pitches? Did you know it was a home run as soon as they went off the bat?
Not the first one. There was the sun in my face, so I couldn't really see where the ball went. But the second one was pretty crushed, so I knew that ball was gone. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and you've been a pretty important player ever since you got here. What does it kind of mean to you to be such an important player when it's playoff season and those last couple of weeks that were very important?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fun. I struggled a little bit at the start of the season, and now I'm eating up a little bit. So I mean, if we can help the team win, that would be sick. So yeah.
And has there anything that kind of has to change in your approach at bat since being here throughout like BP every single day and stuff?
I mean, I work a lot with Sean in my hitting, and I mean, he's probably one of the greatest in that. So he helped me a lot with my approach and just start early and not be late on the fastball. And I mean, it changed everything. So yeah, it's all because of Coach Sean, honestly.
Yeah. Well, shout out Coach Sean. Thank you so much, Dayton, and hopefully we can get another home run in the game today. Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Here catching up field side with Gabe Camacho ahead of Game 1 of the divisional series. And Gabe, over the past 2 years, there have been many upsets in the Cape League. What's the team's mindset going in?
Yeah, just play our game, not change anything, and have fun. At the end of the day, it's just the same game we've been playing for our whole lives, so just going out there and having fun.
And the regular season ended with the bases loaded against Wareham. What does the team need to do to get that key hit?
Yeah, just stay confident, knowing that you're good enough to get the job done, and having confidence in the guy next to you. So yeah.
And Bourne has eliminated Hyannis 3 consecutive seasons. What does the team need to do in the regular season against them that was so successful?
Yeah, just throw strikes, play good defense, and get time to hit. So just got to bring that into today and do our thing.
How has the playoffs for you been different than the regular season?
We're about to see today. I don't know. Maybe the level of play different, but at the end of the day, it's all the same. We played these guys a bunch of times, so either way, we'll be all right.
Great. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, man.
Guys?
natives moved to the Cape in 2000 and raised their
Back at Doran Park, Bourne and Hyannis meeting in the postseason for the 5th consecutive year. This the first with a 3-game first round series, best of 3, with the first-seeded Braves and the 4th-seeded Harbor Hawks. Let's meet the Harbor Hawks lineup as penciled in by manager Mitch Carricker, playing in the postseason for the 2nd time in as many seasons as the Harbor Hawks skipper. He's got center fielder Owen Prince leading off once again. Lefty gives way to a righty in Jace Doby playing left field, moving from his normal post of first base. A mainstay in the lineup is Ryan McKay. The lefty bats 3rd and plays 2nd. Gabe Camacho was hit by a pitch towards the end of the Wareham game on Sunday. He is back in the lineup playing 1st and batting cleanup. Dayton LaChance has been money as a DH this season. He bats 5th. The righty gives way to Jake Schaffner, another mainstay, batting 6th. 3rd baseman, also a lefty. Shortstop is Charlie Bates. He's lived in the 7-hole over the last couple of games. Shortstop followed up by Devin Mitchell in right field, batting 8th. And Brody Briggs is the 9-hole. The catcher from Arizona State will be catching for Carson Yassa. And for Bourne atop the bump, it's a left-hander rather, in Matt Shorey, making his 6th start of the season. He leads the Braves with 30 1/3 innings pitched, 2nd on the Cape in that mark. Also 1st among Braves starters with a 2.37 ERA. His last start on the 29th at Brewster was absolutely incredible after a rocky start to the game in the first inning. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, all in that first frame. Just 3 hits allowed with 7 strikeouts. He struck out more than 5 batters in each of his starts this season. 2-1 record for the rising sophomore out of Vanderbilt.
And he's pitched really well this summer, as you mentioned. But what sticks out to me is the hits per 9, 6.8. Only 23 hits in 30 1/3 innings. This guy knows how to pitch to soft contact, get quick outs, and the strikeout numbers, as we've talked about, are there as well. So this is a challenge for Hyannis.
Among qualified starters, he's 9th in the Cape League with a 2.66 ERA in his starts across 3 2/3 innings. You mentioned the efficacy of punching batters out. He's got 21 strikeouts as well, and he made quick work of a Whitecap team that's done very well this year. Braves 1st in the West. Harbor Hawks snuck into the postseason down to the wire on Sunday. They're the 4 seed. Orange on gray for Hyannis, all white and red for the Braves. The lefty comes home. And the first pitch of the division series is a strike on the inside corner to Owen Prince. Right at 6 p.m. A cloudy day here at Doran Park. 0-1 offering. Breaking ball tails to the outside of the zone, a ball and a strike.
Harbor Hawks would love Owen Prince's speed on first base. Lightning in a bottle just to start it off strong.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball tails away from the catcher, Gavin Kelly. 2-1. Well, Prince has been the leadoff man for that very reason. 3rd in the NCAA with 46 stolen bases at VMI this past spring. 2-1. Fastball sails above the letters. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And this is what Mitch Carricker is looking for in a leadoff hitter. See a lot of pitches, be able to go back to the dugout and report what he's looking for.
3-1. Rocketed into left field. Sefcik charges and makes the first out. So Owen Prince works a 3-ball count, flies out to left field, 1 away.
And that's one of the reasons why Matthew Shorey has been so dominant on the mound. He's able to stay in it on 3-ball counts, just to 3.9 walks per 9, and he busts him inside with the fastball.
Just 13 batters walked this season in 30 1/3 innings, compared to 30 Ks for the lefty out of Vanderbilt. We had a stoppage in play. Right by the on-deck circle, there's a photographer taking photos nice and close, and the home plate umpire, Sam Finn, told him to scram.
I mean, he's directly in the field of play, of course in foul territory, but that was very weird.
Well, that's why they've got these nets by the on-deck circles. First offering to Jace Doby, tails outside, a ball and no strikes. Doby batting 2nd and playing left field for Mitch Carricker. 1 gone, nobody aboard. Top 1, still a scoreless affair. 1-0. Breaking ball right down Broadway. Doby checked the swing. It's a strike anyway.
And as of late, his starts have been few and far between. Came off the bench last time out.
Lefty on righty matchup. Shorey looks at his pitch com in his glove. Now kicks and fires. Doby tags it into right field and dunks in the right center field alley for a base hit. John LaGrande takes an awkward fall in center as he fields. That allows Jace Doby to steam into second base with a double, and LaGrande still hobbled in center.
Well, that's the last thing you want to see. He looks like he's in a lot of pain, and this is a guy who's been playing all summer long for the Braves. This is his 39th game on the Cape this summer, and that's after playing over 50 games for St. John's. So he has played a marathon, and you never like seeing stuff like this.
Just the second batter of the game. The trainer's walking out to center field as LaGrande tries to stand. He ranged over from center field into the right center field alley to make the grab. As he slid down to a knee, he took an awkward fall onto his back and arched it as he went to the ground and did not get up after that. The right fielder, Sebastian Mexico, jogged over to pick up the ball as Jace Doby chugged into second.
Either. He tried to get up and walk. He's going to have to be helped off the field.
The nightmarish scene here at Doran Park. Just the second batter of the game. It's Jace Doby on second base. Top of the first, Hyannis and Bourne still scoreless. Just one out as Owen Prince flew out to begin the game. Manager Scott Landers has now walked all the way from the dugout into the right center field alley, and John LaGrande has indeed risen to his feet, walking it out in the alley, but he will have to be helped off the field. LaGrande, as mentioned, a rising senior at St. John's and a native of New York in the Bronx. He's played in 38 games, part of more than with a couple of other mainstays for the Braves, accounted for over 60% of the Braves' offensive production this year, along with Riker Waite, Braden Holcomb, and Cade Lewis, all three of whom are in the lineup today.
Now he's running a little bit. He just got up and started running. That's astonishing because he couldn't walk. Wow.
No wonder to see LaGrande trying to push through it. He is a workhorse, playing in nearly 90 games this year. To be precise, 90 games exactly across his season in the Big East with St. John's, and now in the 38 he's played here on Cape Cod coming into the day. LaGrande's taken a shoe off. He now sits down and his right sock exposed. Don't quite have the vantage point to see exactly the pain point for LaGrande. The fact that he's even trying to play through this, Max, is otherworldly.
Yeah.
Stoppage in play now, stretching nearly 3-4 minutes. Ryan McKay waits on deck for Hyannis. It's Jace Doby on second base after his double induced the clear injury to John LaGrande in center field. Owen Prince, the center fielder, flew out to begin the game. Top of the first, still no score between Hyannis and Bourne. Game one of the Cape Cod Baseball League Division Series. LaGrande now to his feet, takes off running into the right center field alley. Skips to a hop as he looks like he'll play through it. Still no word yet about what will happen. The defensive replacement now jogging back, or at least in the intended defensive replacement. Both outfielders, Cal Sefcik and Sebastian Mexico, hand LaGrande his hat. Takes another jog towards the center field wall, still hobbled. And now walks back to his manager, Scott Landers, and his athletic trainer. And indeed, he will stay in his center field post. There's being a warrior, Max, and then there's that.
Unbelievable. All I got to say is that's a guy who loves playing the game of baseball. And obviously a great sign. Of course, he was in a world of pain, and for him to stay in this game, so impressive.
Say what you will about players at this point of the Cape Cod Baseball League season either not wanting to play or not being totally locked in. If that's not a perfect example of where John LaGrande stands, I don't know what is. An injury delay that lasts nearly 6 minutes. Matt Shorey getting loose back atop of the bump. He allowed a double to Jace Doby into right center field. Of course, if LaGrande had made a clean field of that ball might have kept Doby at bay at
Now
first.
batting from Michigan State.
Instead,
second
a runner
baseman
in
number
scoring
5,
position with
Ryan
one out
McKay.
for Ryan McKay. Top of the first, still no score between Hyannis and Bourne in the West Division Series Game 1. A lefty on lefty. Shorey works from the stretch. He deals. McKay watches a slider tail to the outside of the zone, 1-0.
It's going to be interesting to see how Shorey reacts because he did get a couple pitches in there, but he kind of got taken out of his rhythm if he had any. Only 2 batters in.
Looks back. Now fires a 1-0. It sails high above McKay's letters. 2 balls, no strikes. Shorey's got a 4-pitch mix with a fastball that tops out at 90, so not all too fast. A slider, a changeup, and a cutter, all sitting in the high 70s to mid 80s. 2-0. McKay rips it to second base. Cooney fumbles the transfer, now can't get it up into his glove, and McKay jogs into first. Jace Doby goes all the way to third, and just like that, the Hawks have him on the corners with 1 gone.
Well, it's been a season marred by
Now
free
batting
passes, not only for Hyannis, but for Bourne. That's a classic E4 right there. And Gabe Camacho going to look to take advantage of that.
2 on and 1 out for the lefty out of UC San Diego and Gabe Camacho. He's played in 3 of the 5 matchups between the Braves and Harbor Hawks this year. Shorey first checks on Ryan McKay, who dives back into first base safely with Cade Lewis covering. Camacho is hit by a pitch himself against Wareham this past Sunday, slammed his helmet down in frustration after the injury and did not return to the game. Now a first offering. Camacho takes a curveball on the inside corner. 0-1 as it clips for a strike. Last time he played the Braves on July 31st, Camacho pinch hit for Devin Mitchell. Hit 2 singles on first 2 pitch swingings. He takes a ball upstairs, 1-1. Rising junior, a native of San Diego. Powerful bat, still looking for the big hit as he is yet to leave the yard. Shorey looks at first and spins a pickoff attempt as Ryan McKay slides ahead of the throw. Doby on third, McKay on second. 1 gone. In the top of the first, Hawks 90 feet away from taking the first lead. Long hold from Shorey, now the pitch. Camacho skies it, shallow in on the infield. Riker Waite comes from his hole at shortstop to make the catch and keep everybody at bay for the second out.
That's a frustrating out for Hyannis after they had an opportunity. Of course, still stands to take advantage of the air. But that's where you really want to score him with the runner on third and less than 2 outs.
McKay's on first with Jace Doby on third after the double. 2 gone for Dayton LaChance. DH headed to Oklahoma from McLennan Community College, who's done just everything against Bourne so far this year. But first, Shorey spins a pickoff attempt at first. LaChance has proved that he should be the everyday DH, not because his defense has lost the Hawks games, but because his hitting has won Hyannis a couple of matchups, batting .478 as a DH in 7 games. Shorey looks at McKay and spins another pickoff attempt before the first offering to LaChance. Still no score here in the top of the first between Hyannis and Bourne. The Harbor Hawks have a couple of runners on the corners, looking not to strand them with 2 gone. First payoff. LaChance takes a breaking ball right down Broadway for strike 1. Oddly enough, LaChance's position in the lineup has determined Hyannis' record over recent games. Harbor Hawks are 3-4 when LaChance DHs, 0-5-1 when he catches. And he rockets the 0-1 in down the first base line, tailing into foul territory. Both Mexico and Lewis giving chase as they watch it fly out of play. Long second strike for Dayton LaChance.
Interesting to see Shorey go with back-to-back fastballs against LaChance, who's a known fastball hitter.
LaChance digs into the back of the righty box. Sets in for an 0-2 count from Matt Shorey, looking to get out of an extended first inning here at Doran Park. Shorey's looking at his glove, now back to his dugout, clearly searching for his sign. And he steps off the bump and disengages with 4 seconds on the pitch clock.
Pitch com's not working.
That's why he continues to look to his mitt on his right hand. Sizable crowd on hand here at Doran Park. Cape League playoffs will do that. Game 1 of the division series between 4-seed Hyannis and 1st-seed Bourne in the West. Hyannis with the least wins in the entire Cape League this year. Of all 10 teams, even the 2 that have been eliminated, just 15-21-4, while the Braves come into the game 20-18-2 as regular season West Division champions. Shorey's seemingly fixed the problem. He retoes the rubber. Runners on the corners and 2 outs. LaChance digs into an 0-2 count against the lefty from Vanderbilt. And first fires a pickoff attempt over at first, and McKay back ahead of the tag of Cade Lewis. Slight infield shift to pull with the shortstop Riker Waite in shallow left field. Seals on the grass. Second baseman Cooney shaded towards the bag. From the stretch, Shorey's 0-2. Sails high above the letters, a ball and 2 strikes.
Now 3 straight fastballs for this at-bat. Got to say, he's probably going to go with the breaking ball here because he doesn't want to fill up another one inside the strike zone.
Wouldn't come as any surprise if the Braves didn't want to pitch to LaChance. Shorey looks at first, now delivers. LaChance rockets one foul over the backstop. He'll do over a 1-2 count.
And he went to the slider right there, and LaChance was well out in front.
Well, LaChance has hit very well against the Braves this year, 8 of 11 with 4 RBIs. But in the last 2 games, he's a perfect 7 for 7 with 4 extra base hits. 1-2 offering. Another foul ball down the third base line. And it just feels like LaChance has been seeing the baseball so much better.
Yeah, it really does, and we talked a lot about the differences in his numbers when he's DHing versus catching. But he's comfortable at the plate when he's not playing in the field, and case in point, potentially right here.
Lefty on righty, Shorey from the stretch. Fires a 1-2. LaChance tags it high in the air, shallow left field. Cal Sefcik ranges in, makes a long run to the end of the outfield grass to retire LaChance. A bit of a tumultuous inning for Matt Shorey, but it ends with a 0 on the scoreboard for Hyannis, headed bottom 2.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Bottom half of the first inning here at Doran Park. Bourne and Hyannis still scoreless after Matt Shorey faces 2 above the minimum in his first frame of work. Carson Yasa will face this Bourne Braves lineup. It's the catcher Gavin Kelly leading off. Righty, lefty, righty is Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb. First baseman and third baseman follow him up. The shortstop Riker Waite bats cleanup. Only switch hitter in the Braves lineup today. The left fielder Cal Sefcik begins 5, 6, and 7. The right fielder Sebastian Mexico follows him up in the 6th hole. The DH Luke Costello, playing in his first couple of games here on Cape Cod, bats 7th. The second baseman Ryan Cooney bats 8th, and John LaGrande took a tumble in that first inning and suffered a bit of an injury, batting 9th and playing center. Carson Yassa, the righty, toes the rubber for Mitch Carricker in Game 1 of the division series. Rising redshirt sophomore at Nebraska at times has felt like among the better Cape League starters this season, just has not been himself recently. He works exclusively from the stretch, righty on righty. First pitch to Gavin Kelly. A fastball that's tagged towards second base. It takes a hop off the infield grass. Ryan McKay fires to Gabe Camacho for out number 1.
Things you love to see if you're Mitch Carricker. First pitch outs and quick outs on soft contact. Sawed him off on a fastball, and that one not going to threaten anything.
From Wake Forest,
one
first
pitch,
baseman,
one
number
out
23,
for Carson
Cade
Yassa.
Lewis.
And Cade Lewis steps into the lefty box. Bottom of the first, still scoreless here at Doran Park for the 2-hole. Cade Lewis for the Braves. He's played in all 6 matchups against Hyannis for Bourne this season. Righty on lefty, the pitch. Yassa fires a fastball low in the zone. It clips the knees for strike 1. We say Yassa hasn't been the same as his prior self because he was so dominant in his first 3 starts. To this start number 7 for the righty. 0-1. Down in the dirt, recovered by Brody Briggs, 1-1. Through his first 3 starts, 11 2/3 innings, he only allowed 1 run and struck out 18. In the last 10, though, he's allowed 12 runs and struck out just 10. His 1-1 offering. Swing, get a miss. Lewis chased a breaking ball low and away, 1-2.
And the hits have been up there, too, in those last 3 starts. 11 in the 10 innings opposed to 7 and 11 2/3. Just hasn't really had his strongest stuff recently, but that can all change. It's a new season with the postseason tonight.
From the stretch, a 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Yassa on the fast track to doing just that. Ground out and a strikeout to start his outing.
Now batting from Vanderbilt, third baseman number 34.
That brings up
Braden
the third
Holcomb.
baseman, Braden Holcomb, to continue a stretch for Bourne of 3 straight players that have played in every matchup against Hyannis this year. Holcomb, a rising junior out of Vanderbilt. Second full summer with the Bourne Braves. Righty on righty, 2 outs and no one aboard. Yassa's first pitch. Fastball that skips into Brody Briggs and ricochets off his protective gear. 1-0.
He's got a couple good pitches working tonight. That changeup's looked really good as well. Fastball, of course, the spike there, but it's looking really lively. Of course, it could reach the upper 90s. Such a tough pitcher to face.
3-pitch mix, fastball, curveball, slider. 1-0. Ripped into right field. It dunks in front of Devin Mitchell, a base hit. Holcomb steams into first with a 2-out single.
We went back to the fastball there, but
Now
that one
batting
just
from
belts
Vanderbilt,
high, and he's able to go
shortstop
the
number
other
3,
way. Nice
Riker
piece of hitting.
Wade.
So a man on and 2 out for Riker Waite. Vanderbilt teammates with Braden Holcomb on first base. Bottom of the first, Bourne's got its first base runner with 2 outs. Still a scoreless affair in the West Division Series Game 1. Yassa's first pitch to the lefty. A fastball that dots the inside corner for strike 1. Yassa's thrown as hard as 99 this season, but the fastball rests at 95 to 97. He nods for his sign and fires. Right down Broadway with a fastball, 0-2. To return to Yassa, we say he's among the best starters in the Cape League because despite recent struggles, he's still punched out batters at a clip better than anybody in the league. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Yassa faces one above the minimum in the bottom half of the first, and both these teams get through their work quickly in this one. To the top of the second we go, still scoreless here at Doran Park.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Through one full inning at Doran Park, Hyannis and Bourne still scoreless here in Game 1 of the West Division Series. One of 4 matchups across the Cape Cod Baseball League. And for the first time in recent memory, it'll be a division series here on Cape Cod in the first round. Of course, the winners on each side here in Hyannis and Bourne, and then Cotuit and Wareham, 2 versus the 3, will advance for the right to play in the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship. The Braves have done just that in 2 of the last 3 seasons, and in the process have eliminated the Harbor Hawks in each of the last 4 playoffs. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Mitch Carricker's Harbor Hawks, beginning with the lefty third baseman out of North Carolina, Jake Schaffner. The lefty for Bourne, Matt Shorey of Vanderbilt, faced 2 above the minimum in a first inning marred by a near injury to John Legrande. Nearly a 5-minute injury delay in that first inning. First pitch. Breaking ball floats to the center of the zone for strike 1. Schaffner's the only player on Hyannis' roster that has played in all 5 games against the Braves. It takes an 0-1 slider outside, 1-1.
Shorey doubles up right there on the breaking ball, and it's looking really sharp.
From the stretch, he deals. Breaking ball sinks low and away, 2-1. Schaffner struggled with injuries himself. He missed 8 games with a wrist injury on June 24th after he was hit by a pitch. 2-1, skips in to Gavin Kelly behind the plate, 3-1. Now a second 3-ball count of the game for Matt Shorey against a player in Jake Schaffner who's done pretty well against the Braves. 3-1. Breaking ball right down the heart for strike 2.
We've only seen 1 fastball this at bat, and because Schaffner's been out here all summer, teams kind of know the scouting reports.
Shorey working quickly in this second inning. He's got his sign, takes a breath, and fires. Schaffner tips it off the catcher, a foul ball. 6 of 20 this season against the Bourne Braves in all 5 games. That's a perfect 300 average. 4 runs scored in the process. Lefty on lefty, the 3-2. Tails outside, ball 4. First walk of the game for Hyannis, and it leads off the second inning.
And this is where Bourne's got to be careful. Despite winning the West Division, the most walks in the Cape League at 205. Hyannis scores in second. This is where Hyannis could get back into it, just taking advantage of those free passes.
Harbor Hawks with lots of hits, just not at opportune times. A man on and no one out for Charlie Bates. His first pitch breaking ball down and away, clips the zone, 0-1. Bates, the shortstop, batting 7th. Still no score in the top of the second here at Doran Park between Hyannis and Bourne. 0-1. Fastball tails low, 1-1. Bates has been here since day 1, but has only played Bourne 3 times this season. First a pickoff move from Shorey ahead of the 1-1 offering. Bates is a team leader in strikeouts for Hyannis, yet, as we've talked about ad nauseum, picked it up after a 1-for-20 stretch this season. Shorey waits before the 1-1, looks at first, now fires. Breaking ball, clips the lower corner for strike 2. Bates didn't like it. He took a brief lap around the lefty box, now digs back into it. Nobody out and a man on board and Schaffner on first. Shorey looks that way, takes a breath, and spins a pickoff move back to Schaffner, who dives in ahead of the throw. Wind blowing from third into center field on the flag and straightaway center behind a marker that reads 395. A couple of ground rule doubles the last time these two teams played at Doran Park. Shorey again checks on Schaffner at first base. Seems to be a bit out of his rhythm with runners on base.
He's just not ready with the pitch clock. He's just going to pick over as many times as he wants.
No disengagement rule on the Cape. 1-2. Fastball sails high, 2-2. Bates really started to turn it around after that 1-for-20 stretch with 12 strikeouts on July 6th. Then went 3-for-4 against Bourne on the 8th with 2 RBIs. 2-2. Ripped towards first, past the dive of Cade Lewis and into right field. Schaffner gets the go-ahead to third. Mitch Carricker sends him down to the slide. It's a single for Charlie Bates, and Hyannis has him on the corners with no one out.
Well, that's a way to break a slump for Bates. Going left on left and depositing it through the right side. Hyannis has got something brewing here in the second.
It's Bates' first hit since July 26th against Chatham. He went the final 7 games of the year hitless. Not like he didn't have an impact as he did just there. Runners on the corners and no one out for Devin Mitchell, the righty right fielder. The lefty Shorey looks at first, now kicks and throws. Swing and a miss. Mitchell behind a breaking ball from the lefty out of Vanderbilt.
It looked like he was just a bit out ahead of right there as well.
Shorey has his sign from the stretch. He spins and fires a pickoff to Charlie Bates at first. Second consecutive inning here at Doran Park where Hyannis has put a couple on the corners after Jace Doby's double and Ryan McKay reached on an error in the top of the first. Here in the second, still no score between Hyannis and Bourne. Shorey's 0-1. Breaking ball sails above the letters, 1-1. Devin Mitchell headed to NC State out of Florence Darlington Tech in South Carolina with rising junior eligibility. Long hold from Shorey atop the bump. Now the pitch. Chopped foul down the third base line, 1-2.
And Bourne will gladly trade 2 outs for a run with their infield up the middle and double play depth.
Shorey would welcome that for sure to keep that pitch count low. Went long in that top of the first inning, facing 2 above the minimum. Now spins and fires a pickoff attempt to Charlie Bates at first. No one out, 2 aboard. Schaffner on third, Bates on first after the single. And Devin Mitchell, the right-hander, at the plate. The lefty Matthew Shorey takes a look at his catcher and spins a third straight pickoff attempt at first base. Really taking advantage of the no disengagement rule here on Cape Cod. Looking to settle back into his rhythm to face Mitchell. A 1-2 count. With a breath atop the bump, he works from the stretch. Off goes Bates at first, pitches high for a ball. Throw in from Kelly is well off the plate, and Bates swipes second. Now a pair in scoring position with nobody out.
And it takes away that double play opportunity, at least in the ground ball capacity. Really good opportunity for Mitchell, but in that 2-strike count, he's got to be careful.
Mitchell squats into his crouch with Bates on second and Schaffner on third. Middle infielders back up to the outfield grass. 2-2. Breaking ball floats outside, runs the count full.
And this wouldn't be the end of the world for Shorey if Devin Mitchell were to walk here, because then it would put a force at any Bates, and the left-handed breaks coming up.
The corner infielders play towards the second base bag away from the lines. 3-2. Roped foul down the third base line. Aimed it right at Mitch Carricker in the third base coach's box, and coach, without hesitation, ducked beneath it. Mitchell played a ton when he first got here. 7 consecutive games since being activated on July 11th. Hit a home run in his first Cape League at-bat against the Firebirds. 3-2. Tails inside, ball 4. Hyannis has loaded the bases with nobody out. It's the second walk of the inning from Matthew Shorey. And now a mound visit initiated by the catcher, Gavin Kelly.
And this is going to be an important one. They're going to go over a couple things, of course. First of all, calm down the pitcher, Matthew Shorey, but also talk about where the ball is going and who is hit to. Corners, are they going to the plate? Are they going to second base? Of course, a lot of that depends on where the ball exactly is hit. This is where Hyannis needs to take advantage of the free passes. Already 2 in this inning.
Mound meeting over. Gavin Kelly walks back behind the dish. And Shuri trying to keep the mound. Rather keep himself in rhythm. Top of the second, bases fully loaded with Schaffner on third, Bates on second, Mitchell on first. And the lefty Brody Briggs trying to strike first for the Harbor Hawks in this game. Lefty on lefty. Shuri ready atop the bump. He delivers. First pitch fastball clips the knees for strike one.
That's the first pitch to a lefty this inning that has not been a breaking ball.
Maybe changing something after the visit with Gavin Kelly and the corner infielders Caden Lewis and Braden Holcomb. From the stretch 0-1. Check swing at the low ball. Sam Finn looks to Mike Hinojosa, and Brody Briggs did not go around. 1-1. Sam Finn behind the plate. Hinojosa at first. Rick Force over at third. The lefty Briggs digs back into the box. Shakes the bat towards Shuri, who comes set from the stretch. Is 1-1. Launched in the air into shallow right field. Ryan Cooney, the second baseman, called off by the shortstop Riker Waite. Shallow enough to keep everybody at bay, but it's the first out of the top of the second.
That's an infield fly right there. Umpires kind of waited to see how deep it was going to go, but of course it could be a little bit into the outfield for it to still be called the classic infield fly.
Rule in play with multiple runners on and less than 2 outs. Flip the order for Owen Prince here in the top of the second. Still no score between Hyannis and Bourne as the Hawks have the bases loaded with 1 gone. Lefty on lefty, the pitch. Breaking ball slides outside, 1-0. Prince flew out to left to begin the game. Jace Adobe, the man who waits on deck, roped a double into the right center field alley after that. Shuri's 1-0. Sinks beneath the knees. Gavin Kelly with a key stop, 2-0.
It just doesn't look exactly right this inning. This is a guy who came in with way less walks, only 3.9 walks per nine, but he's just consistently falling behind, and he was back against the wall on the 2-0 with the bases loaded.
It's 2-0. Fastball paints the inside corner for strike one. Shuri has now walked as many batters in this game through one and a third innings as he did in 6 innings in his last start on July 29th. 2-1. Breaking ball tags that inside corner for a second strike. 1 out. Hawks have the bases loaded. Top of the second. Owen Prince digs in, looking to change the score for the first time in this game. 0-0. Shuri comes set from the stretch. Kicks and fires. Sliced foul down the third base line. Remains a 2-2 count.
There's a professional swing from Prince. It didn't look too pretty, but he's just buying another pitch, just getting contact on the 2-strike count.
He was almost off and running as before he finished the swing, and that induced it down the third base line. 2-2 offering upcoming. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a huge strikeout for Matt Shuri. 2 gone here in the top of the second.
Now outfielders could back up to no doubles defense. Infielders could back up to their respective spots, not on double play depth. That was the at-bat Mitch Carricker needed to get a run, and that's going to be a frustrating one if Dobie can't come through here.
What a huge moment for Matt Shuri's first strikeout of the ball game. Now the left fielder, Jace Dobie digs in. Bases loaded and 2 gone. The lefty Shuri looking to escape the trouble. First pitch. Breaking ball tails inside and catches the inner corner for a first strike. Dobie's double in the first inning. His first hit since July 27th against Wareham. Last time he played anywhere that wasn't first base as he moved into left field in that game. The righty digs in. The lefty comes home. And Dobie tags it foul down the first base line, going the other way. 0-2.
What a response from Shuri after that mound visit. Gets the pop out, the strikeout, jumps ahead here. Hyannis has really struggled with runners in scoring position this season. The worst batting average in the Cape League.
Already a critical juncture of the game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 0-2. Tails inside and it misses the inner corner of the plate. 1-2.
Yeah, Gavin Kelly Probably a ball inside, but didn't catch it too well and couldn't get that opportunity for a nice frame job.
Shorey comes set from the stretch. His 1-2. Low and inside, 2-2. That inside slider has missed both times to Jace Doby in each of the last 2 pitches.
It really has, and Doby, credit him after falling behind 0-2, working it back to an even count.
The righty digs into his crouch. Shorey's 2-2. Sails high at the letters, and it's a full count. The righty falls behind 0-2 and jumps back ahead with a full count offering upcoming from Shorey. Schaffner at third, Bates at second, Mitchell at first. Still a scoreless ball game in the top of the second. Matt Shorey pitching in one of the bigger moments already. His 3-2 launched foul down the third base line. Jake Schaffner already a few paces away from home plate as he was off and running. Doby taps the dish and digs back into the righty box. All runners will go on a 3-2 count with 2 gone, and Matt Shorey stops play once again with 10 on the pitch clock to meet with his catcher Gavin Kelly.
Probably going over the game plan right here. They've used the fastball, they've used the breaking ball. What do they go back to? Because you don't want to walk them. That would be the 3rd walk of the inning, and that would walk in a run. And Hyannis has proved, at least so far in this inning, that if you let them take matters in their own hands, they can't get it done. They've popped out and struck out with the bases loaded. You don't want to give them that for free.
Jake Schaffner began the inning with a walk. Charlie Bates singled and stole second. Devin Mitchell walked. But since Brody Briggs has popped out and Owen Prince has struck out. Top 2, bases loaded, a 3-2. Launched high in the air to right field. Everyone converging on it. Sebastian Mexico into foul territory. He makes the grab to end the frame. Matt Shorey walks a couple and allows a single, but strands the bases loaded. It remains a scoreless affair here at Doran Park, headed to the bottom of the second between Hyannis and Bourne.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Still a scoreless affair as we head bottom 2 between Hyannis and Bourne here at Doran Park. Game 1 of the Cape Cod Baseball League Division Series already has all the drama as the Harbor Hawks worked the bases loaded against the lefty Matt Shorey, but a couple of key outs in a row from the Vanderbilt Commodore keep this a 0-0 ball game. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Braves in the bottom of the second. Be the left fielder Cal Sefcik to lead it off against the righty hurler Carson Yassa. Faced 1 above the minimum in his inaugural frame of work with a couple of strikeouts. After a troublesome last 3 starts, Max, that's the dream start for the righty.
It really was, and he spent a lot of time sitting down in the dugout right here, so he's going to have to kind of get re-warmed up. Hyannis, a lot of action in that inning, but not able to convert.
5, Cal Sefcik.
Righty on righty matchup to begin the bottom of the second. The left fielder Cal Sefcik digs in. Righty Yassa comes set from the stretch. He works exclusively from there. He fires. First pitch fastball right at the top of the zone. It dots for a first strike.
Now he can set up the tunnel in the rest of this at bat. He can go with the breaking ball starting at the top. The changeup, he's got him on the rope right here.
4 pitch mix for Yassa, rather a 3. 0-1. Another fastball. This one tails low and outside. Ball 1. Sefcik, a rising junior at Cincinnati. He's been here at Bourne since the 2nd week of the season. 1-1. chopped foul down the third base line, 1-2.
Let's see him go to the changeup right here. He had him out ahead of a fastball. He's gone 3 consecutive fastballs at this at-bat. Perfect time to pull the string.
He's fired a few fastballs, have sat 95, 97 in this at-bat. 1-2. Sails high above the helmet of Cal Sefcik, 2-2.
Well, it definitely wasn't a changeup. Went right back to the gas.
It's the pitch that's worked the best for Yasa this year. He's topped it out at 99 miles per hour across 27 innings of work. Each of the last now 7 appearances have been starts. 2-2. Breaking ball, tapped towards third. On a hop, it gets to Jake Schaffner. The clutch, the throw, off the back from Camacho, but on the tag, he retires Sefcik.
Well, there you go. Camacho owed dinner by Jake Schaffner.
Now
He's been doing it all this season at first base. A lot of scoops, crazy tacks like that. Guys appreciate that on the infield.
Now 1 above the minimum through 5 for Carson Yasa. It's been a struggle from the righty out of Nebraska of late. But here in the top of the second, he's kept this game scoreless between Hyannis and Bourne. The righty Sebastian Mexico takes a first pitch heater right down Broadway for a first strike. Nobody on and 1 out for the right fielder Mexico. Brings it from the left side, 0-1. Miss at the top of the zone from Carson Yasa, 1-1. At his best, Yasa is among the best starters, if not the best starter remaining on the Cape. He fires a 1-1. It skips low and in the dirt. Ricochets off Brody Briggs' protective gear, 2-1. Yasa leads qualified Cape League pitchers with 28 strikeouts in his 6 starts entering the night. Yet he's 19th of 22 qualified Cape League pitchers in starter ERA at 5.4. 2-1. Breaking ball floats outside, 3-1. Mexico, the lefty, played against Hyannis briefly last time on July 31st. He takes a 3-1 upstairs and works a 5-pitch walk. It's beginning to see some of the troublesome pitches from Yasa that have played his last 3 starts.
And he looked really good with the fastball early in this inning, and then even early in that at bat. But then he kind of lost his feeling for it. And as Yasa, the night goes on, he's going to have a big leash. This is how deep we are into the season. And Mitch Carricker knows he can let a guy go, and it'll take some time to figure stuff out, but he has that time.
His last start stretched 2 2/3, but that's an anomaly when you consider what Yasa's done this season. A man on and 1 out, and a first pitch to Luke Costello whizzes inside for a first ball. Top of the second, still no score at Doran Park between Hyannis and Bourne. The first-seeded Braves versus the 4th-seeded Harbor Hawks in Game 1 of the West Division Series. 1-0. Tails low and outside, 2-0. For Yasa, that last start stretched 2 2/3 at Falmouth because he allowed a season-high 7 runs in a run rule loss to the Commodores. From the stretch, he deals a 2-0. Breaking ball drifts inside, 3-0.
This is a really tough position to put himself in because he's probably going to get an automatic take from Luke Costello. You got a runner on first. You really don't want to let it snowball on you, especially after you weren't able to score in the top half of the inning.
He comes set from the stretch, a man on and 1 out, the 3-0. Dips beneath the knees, ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Carson Yasa. Have 2 on
now
for Bourne with 1 out.
Second baseman number 11, Ryan Cooney.
And now Brody Briggs jogs from behind the dish to the bump to settle Yasa down. Each of those last 2 starts have resulted in Hyannis losses. The 30th at Falmouth, a run rule loss, and then at Katuitt, another run rule loss that Carson Yasa pitched in. It just feels backwards that the best starter for this Hyannis Harbor Hawk team would go in 2 straight run rules.
Yeah, and it was honestly the one against Katuitt wasn't really Yasa's fault. He didn't have his stuff, but that one was that 8th inning where the Cavaliers just came alive.
Of course, some of that going to the bats, but Yasa did walk 4, that's a season high, and allowed 2 runs of the 11. Ryan Cooney squares the bunt to the first pitch fastball. It dots the zone for a first strike. Cooney, the second baseman who's been here for Bourne since day one. He's played in 29 games, rising junior at Oregon. Yasa looks at second, now fires. Breaking ball, catches the lower corner, 0-2. Top of the second, still no score between the Hawks and the Braves. 2 aboard and 1 out for the righty Ryan Cooney. The righty Yasa set from the stretch. He looks at second and fires. Breaking ball floats outside, 1-2. And Yasa trying to reverse all this from the past 3 starts to get back to a Carson Yasa that was very good. Fires a 1-2 down the middle, chopped to Schaffner. He flips to second for 1. McKay to first. The stretch from Camacho just late. They get the 1 out at second in Luke Costello. Sebastian Mexico heads to third, and Ryan Cooney to first on the fielder's choice.
It was just hit too softly to turn 2. Nice job by Schaffner and McKay on the turn, and credit Cooney for running it out.
And now, a first look at John LaGrande at the plate. LaGrande in the top of the first suffered what looked to be a major injury as he was down and didn't seem to be moving for a couple of minutes. Then sprung right up and started running, stayed in the game. Yasa throws a first pitch low beneath his knees, 1-0. For LaGrande, the rising senior out of St. John's, no wonder he wants to push through. He's playing in game number 91, going back to his spring with St. John's. Yasa nods for a 1-0 and floats a breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. It's one thing to spring out of what seems to be a grueling injury, but it's quite another to stay in the game at center field with a lot of running.
He's playing in his 39th game this summer. This guy's unbelievable.
Off goes the runner at first on 1-1. Fastball in for a strike. Brody Briggs attempts no throw as Ryan Cooney jogs into second unimpeded. Briggs has been quite effective at throwing out runners this season. Doesn't even render an attempt there. With the top of the order on deck and 2 outs for Bourne. 2 on as well for the lefty LaGrande. Yasa's 1-1, chopped foul down the first base line. Rather, it was a 1-2, and it'll stay that way for the next pitch. A heavy crowd on hand at Doran Park, despite a cloudy day, with wind blowing from third into center field. 2 on and 2 out. Yasa's 1-2. Breaking ball floats over the zone, but strike 3 swinging for John LaGrande. Carson Yasa strands a couple of walks and a fielder's choice. Keeps it a scoreless affair, headed to the top of the third between Hyannis and Bourne.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Through 2 full here at Doran Park, neither Hyannis nor Bourne has broken the steal. Still a scoreless affair as 3, 4, and 5 for the Harbor Hawks due up in this inning to face the lefty Matt Shorey, stretching to the third after escaping a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the second. 3 consecutive outs with a couple of Ks to keep it scoreless in this Game 1 of the West Division Series here in the West Division. Lefty second baseman Ryan McKay, the first to dig in for Hyannis against the lefty out of Vanderbilt, Matthew Shorey. struggled to find his rhythm, especially with runners on base in that second inning.
But he found it after that mound visit with the bases loaded, nobody out. 3 consecutive outs, the pop out, the strikeout, and the fly out.
He's only got that 1 K on the day.
And they're waiting for the lights to turn on here at Bourne Park.
Home plate umpire Sam Finn has his mask off, standing just ahead of home plate, and now walks back behind the dish to resume play. Ryan McKay out of Michigan State, first batter of the top of the third. Digs in from the left side. Shorey's got his sign from the stretch. He throws it. And McKay tags the first pitch high in the air to left center field. LeGrande on the run. He's called off by Cal Sefcik, ranging in front of the wall to grab out number 1.
That's a really good piece of hitting. Ryan McKay going the opposite way on the left in one of the deeper parts of the ball yard here at Bourne Park.
First baseman number 10.
Says 395 on the post in straightaway center field. Of course, the last 2 games Hyannis has played here at Bourne Park have been marred by odd reads to that part of center field. 4 ground rule doubles on June 19th, just 1 on the 6th. First pitch to Gabe Camacho finds the inside corner for strike 1. 1 out, no one aboard. In the top of the third, it's 0-0 between Hyannis and Bourne. The lefty Shorey from the stretch fires. Breaking ball tails low and away, 1-1. Camacho, a powerful bat, still looking for the big hit. He hit 7 homers for UC San Diego this past spring. Has a couple of hard hit balls 100 miles an hour off the bat, but just hasn't left the yard yet. 1-1 from Shorey. And Camacho fires a high fly ball into shallow right center field. Ryan Cooney, the second baseman, backs into it and makes a second out.
This is exactly what Bourne needs, should they hold on and be able to get Dalen Chance. A 1-2-3 inning, because it looked like they were about to score in that second inning until LeGrande struck out. But whatever team scores first, they're looking for that momentum.
These teams' aces atop the bump. Carson Yassa has faced 3 above the minimum in his first couple of innings of work. Shorey's had some more struggle, but now faces Dayton LaChance. First pitch. LaChance chops it high to third, backhanded field in foul territory. Braden Holcomb slings across the diamond and ends the frame. 3 up, 3 down from Matthew Shorey. A welcome change of pace after escaping a bases-loaded jam. It keeps the game scoreless, headed to the bottom of the third. But first, Ethan Wax has more on Hyannis playoff history.
Thank you very much, Gio. While the Hawks stumble into the playoffs, losers of 3 straight and with the worst record and run differential of any of the playoff teams, the playoffs in the Cape League are truly not only the second season, but a different season. Last season, Harwich, which at one point lost 12 of 13 regular season games, crushed rival Yarmouth Dennis in the Eastern Conference Finals, outscoring the team. They finished 10 games behind the regular season, 15-3 in a 2-game sweep. Harwich then won the championship, upsetting Bourne, which finished 13 points ahead of the Mariners. Hyannis, which won the Western Division, was eliminated by Bourne in the first round. Bourne went on to eliminate higher-seeded Hyannis in the semifinals before upsetting Orleans in the championship. The Braves have certainly had the Harbor Hawks number in the playoffs, eliminating Hyannis in each of the past 3 seasons. With the transfer portal this season causing more player movement than ever before, this postseason could be even more unpredictable. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Ethan. Time for the bottom of the third as Hyannis and Bourne face off for the 5th consecutive postseason. The Braves have eliminated the Harbor Hawks in each of the prior 4. The righty Carson Yassa still atop the bump for Hyannis. Still no score between the Hawks and the Braves. It's the top of the order due up for Scott Landers and Bourne, beginning with the righty catcher Gavin Kelly. He digs into the back of the box, and Yassa comes set from the stretch. He delivers. The fastball dips beneath the knees of Kelly, 1-0. Kelly, the catcher out of West Virginia, playing in game number 31 A rising sophomore headed back to the Mountaineers. 1-0. Yassa's breaking ball floats away from the outside corner, 2-0.
And it's frustrating for Yassa because a lot of these misses just not too close, and he really wants to threaten the strike zone, especially to a leadoff hitter and a guy like Kelly.
2-0. Ripped towards second, slowly trickles to Charlie Bates. He clutches, he throws in time for out number 1. Kelly with a second ground out to second into this game. Yassa with short in this game. I mean, Charlie Bates is at shortstop. Ryan McKay will be at the other side of second base playing second. Sometimes your directions get all in a fluff. Cade Lewis digs in after striking out in the first inning. 1 out, no one aboard. The pitch. Fastball dips beneath the knees of the lefty for a first ball. And for Yassa, after 2 walks in that second inning, he found his stuff with a key strikeout of John LaGrande, his 3rd punch out of the game. 1-0. Fastball sails at the letters, 2-0. We've talked at length so far about how Yassa has been subpar for his standards in the last 3 starts. The righty of Nebraska comes set and fires. And the 2-0 drifts inside. 3-0 to Cade Lewis.
And he was behind 2-0 to Gavin Kelly, and then he got the ground out, and then now 3-0.
He was first 11 2/3, 18 Ks for Yassa through the last 10 innings, just 10 strikeouts. 3-0. Dips beneath the knees of Lewis, and he works a 4-pitch walk. So the ground out and then the walk for Carson Yassa to begin the 3rd with a runner on and just 1 away. And we saw in that count the uncompetitive misses that have not only plagued Hyannis this season, but have plagued Yassa a bit in this start.
Yeah, arguably the only competitive pitch there was that 3-0.
Fastball just missed the inside corner to the lefty Lewis. Now a righty and Braden Holcomb digs into the back of the box after a 2-out single in the first. First offering. Fastball chopped right towards shortstop. Bates charges, throws on the infield grass, and Camacho stretches to make the second out. A proper 6-3 this go around. Both have been to short, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the 3rd.
Shortstop number 3, Riker Waite.
And that's the help from a defense that Yassa and other Hyannis starters have not received recently.
And Bates has looked really good at shortstop all throughout this season. Of course, we've seen him second base, shortstop, 3rd, and all 3 outfield positions. He's so versatile.
A true Swiss Army knife for Mitch Carricker. 2 away and 1 on for the shortstop Riker Waite. Yassa floats a breaking ball upstairs and away, 1-0. Waite, the shortstop, a switch hitter out of Vanderbilt, batting lefty in each of the at-bats so far in this game against the righty Yassa. Still no score in the top of the 3rd. 1-0. Fastball launched into shallow right field. Ryan McKay looks back at it, but it's the center fielder Owen Prince that gloves the 3rd and final out. Carson Yassa faces 1 above the minimum into the bottom of the 3rd, stranding a walk from Cade Lewis with a couple of groundouts and a flyout. Hyannis and Bourne still scoreless through 3.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Back for the top of the fourth here in the West Division Series. Game 1 between Hyannis and Bourne. It's still scoreless, and I'm honored to pass play-by-play along to Graham Nash for the middle 3 innings.
All right, thank you very much, Gio. Graham Nash, Giovanni Collada here, as you said. Still a 0-0 ball game here in top of the 4th inning. And Hyannis struggling right now to bring those runners across. You talked about it a little bit with Max earlier. 5 runners left in scoring position already for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Hyannis stranded 3. They left the bases loaded in the top of the 2nd as Jake Schaffner is going to lead things off. Still against Matt Shorey. And Schaffner takes a strike right down Broadway on a fastball. Hyannis has left the bases loaded 4 of the last 5 times that they've had the opportunity. It's just been the story of the month of July, and then also crept into April. Schaffner puts one right on the ground at the second baseman, Cooney. And there's one out in the inning.
Do you mean August?
July into August.
Oh, you said April.
Oh, then yes, I do mean August.
That'd be a wicked stretch of keeping the bases loaded. But to that point, Graham, even there with Jake Schaffner, it's all credit to Matt Shorey finding his rhythm again. 2 walks and a single to Charlie Bates to load the bases, with Devin Mitchell also along the backs. And then he goes fly out, strike out, fly out to end it.
Charlie Bates takes a breaking pitch on the outside corner. Bates already with a single on the day, but he's been struggling as of late coming into the game. He takes one down in the dirt. 1-1 count. Bates came into the game on a 7-game hitless streak. His last hit was against Chatham on July 26th. He went 1 for 3 in that ball game. Also struck out. There's 1-1. Breaking pitch sent into left field. Sefcik charges in and plays it on a hop. Bates with 2 singles on the ball game in his first multi-hit performance since July 18th against Falmouth.
Both on very good pieces of hitting. First, he uses the pull hit in that second, then steals the bag, and then goes the other way here in the third to drop one right in front of Sefcik. And he's seeing the ball like this. Could be trouble for opponents.
Devin Mitchell takes a strike on a breaking ball. Mitchell still trying to register his first plate appearance. He walked back up in the second, or his first at bat. His first plate appearance was back in the second. Check over on Bates. Shorey's been really uncomfortable on the mound all game long.
Especially with runners along the base paths. There were a couple of times where he's fired multiple pickoff attempts to the tune of 3 straight against a batter.
Shorey kicks and fires. And it's a swing and a miss. Mitchell well behind that. Mitchell coming into this game on a 1-game hitless and on baseless streak. Ended a 2-game hit streak he had going. He was 2 for 6. As he pulls one into left field. Cal Sefcik with a couple steps back. He reaches up. And it's over he just caught it.
Somehow he ranges back to the track to make that one. A really loud sound from Devin Mitchell off the bat. And Sefcik played it almost vertical to his body. So he puts the left hand up and dives ahead while his body is horizontally faced to the ground and takes the tumble and holds the finish.
Brody Briggs just got underneath a pitch his last time up, popped it out to the shortstop and Riker Waite. As there's a check over at Bates, he slides in safely. Briggs, like Charlie Bates, coming into this ball game on a 7-game hitless streak. His last hits came against Falmouth on July 18th, had a 2 for 2 ball game, 2 runs and 2 RBIs, was thriving at that point in the season. His first pitch, an off speed, catches the inside corner, but then he really started to struggle. He was still drawing walks like crazy, drew walks in all but 1 game over his last 6. Another check at Bates. And in 3 of those 6 ball games, he drew multiple walks. That sprung him or leaped him into the lead on this Hyannis team in that category. 17 walks over the season for Briggs. Another check over on Bates. Briggs, he only had 3 walks through his first 9. He now has had 14 over his last 12 games. Shorey, coming off his best inning of work. 3 up, 3 down, back in the top of the 5th, or top of the 3rd. He's trying to get right back to that, but Charlie Bates with a really good single is making it a bit hard as there's another check. That 4 straight.
Yeah, he gets out of his rhythm very easily with just one runner along the base paths, as you see here in Charlie Bates. A lot of that went into why Bates was able to swipe second base back in the 2nd inning.
Briggs is 0-1. Inside on an off speed again.
And just because Brody Briggs has been hitless in his last 7 games doesn't mean he hasn't had an impact. He's had walks in each of the last 3 as well. And he continues to be a stout defender behind the plate.
Looking for his first hit in the month of August and his first against these Braves. 1-1 fastball upstairs, and he's ahead in the count. Over the season-long series, Brody Briggs 0 for 6, but he drew 6 walks. Only struck out once, has 2 RBIs. He did not play in games 1 and 3 against these Braves. Another check on Bates, and he's been busy sliding into first.
For a guy that's got 17 walks in 21 games entering the day, it's no surprise that he's worked that many walks against Bourne, but it's been a struggle in that category for the rest of his teammates in the lineup against Bourne.
Shorey's 2-1. Hit on the ground right at the second baseman. Ryan Cooney plays it off a couple hops and sends it to Cade Lewis for the 3rd out. Charlie Bates with a single, the second man up, but no one else can get on base. Still 0-0 headed into the bottom of the 4th.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Bottom of the 4th inning, 0-0 ball game. And the first of the best of 3 series in this divisional series against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves. Bourne has struggled to get their hits in this ball game. Only 1 single. That was for Braden Holcomb back in the 1st. And since then, their only real chances has been because Carson Yass has slipped up occasionally and walked a couple guys.
After a couple of starts in a row for Yassa that have resulted in multiple runs on his register, he looks as comfortable as he's been all season long when he had an ERA as low as 1.06, and those 28 strikeouts among starters in the Cape League entering the game lead the league because of how effective he's been with the punch-out. He's got 3 of them in this game. Struggled with location a bit with those 3 walks in the very early goings of this outing, but if he can get into a groove, Mitch Carricker will keep the leash as long as it's been all year for him.
Cal Sefcik is going to lead things off. He's batting in the 5 spot tonight. Only playing in his 17th game. He's one of many that are still pretty fresh and new to the Cape Cod Baseball League. Sefcik, unlike many, did not play in the CCBL or the Futures League as he hits the first pitch fastball into left field between Jake Schaffner and Charlie Bates. And there's a leadoff single for the Braves.
It's an excellent piece of hitting by the righty on a pitch by Carson Yassa that just floats over the zone a bit too long, and Sefcik brings it around, puts the barrel on it. Tough backhanded field for Charlie Bates, and he renders an effort, but it's a leadoff single for Cal Sefcik.
That is a category that Bourne has succeeded in over the season-long series. Bourne leadoff hitters coming into this game with a .316 average against Hyannis. First pitch fastball downstairs to Sebastian Mexico. Getting those leadoff hits, it's just detrimental. Getting off to a good inning.
It's lethal when you think about it.
1-0 downstairs again on a fastball.
Especially to be hitting .316. To have leadoff hitters reach at that clip, it sets the tone, for that inning for whoever follows. You could face the minimum in the inning with a double play in there. But it would set the tone for the rest of the game as well against that starter and against that pitching staff.
Yasa checks over on the base runner, and the tag just late. Camacho nearly got that down.
He thought he had him too. Spun the tag around as Sefcik dove back in. Just a hair late per Mike Hinojosa.
2-0. Another fastball low. It skips past Brody Briggs. And Sefcik takes second base.
It's an interesting juxtaposition we've seen from Carson Yasa in this start. We've seen flashes of the brilliance that had him atop the Cape League in ERA at one point, but also we've seen a bit of the wildness that has plagued each of his last 3 starts, all of which have had multiple walks and multiple runs allowed.
Wild pitches are another category of free passes that plagued Hyannis, as Yasa finally finds the zone against Mexico with that heater. It's a 3-1 count. That last pitch, or I guess now 2 pitches ago, the first wild pitch in this ball game for Hyannis pitching, so a promising start, but job's not finished. 3-1 fastball fouled down the third base line, and it is just a heavy dose of heaters right now from Yasa.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it for Carson Yasa, but like you alluded to, it has it located with at the same clip that it did not only in the 3 starts that were troublesome, but in every single appearance he's made this season, all 10 now, including this game.
0-0 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. Cal Sefcik is over at second base with no outs in the inning. Mexico swings on the full count pitch into shallow outfield. Bates leaps and makes a catch before it can get down on the grass.
I think Ryan McKay at second base, trotting to the outfield grass, was convinced he was going to have that one. Bates just leapt up and stole it. Doesn't matter who, as long as somebody makes the out. And that's a very big one for Carson Yasa, because even if that's a fly ball to the outfield, it can send Sefcik to third 90 feet from a first run against the righty.
Mexico, the first out in the inning, brings up Luke Costello for a second time. He foul tips the first pitch back into Brody Briggs, who grunts in pain a bit. And Sam Finn going to give him the courtesy of throwing the ball to Carson Yasa. Briggs, he's worn a couple pitches as of late as well. Just a tough guy behind the plate.
Shook that one right off, and Briggs, for a guy that's been here since day 1, playing in game number 22, all behind the dish. He's used to it.
0-1. Curveball locates beautifully. We haven't seen that pitch too much.
12-6 hanger right there. Just dots that inside corner. It was beautiful from Carson Yasa, but he's got to be careful throwing that righty-righty. If the guy turns on it, it's in the seats.
The 0-2. Another breaking ball, that time low in the dirt. Yasa slows it way down with that curveball. Can get it all the way down to 79, tops around 82. His fastball's all the way up at 98 at its fastest. 1-2. There's the fastball upstairs, a back pick chance. But Cal Sefcik slides back in, and McKay can't lay the tag down.
It's not a very strong effort from Brody Briggs. He threw it half-heartedly past the mound, and it trickled through the infield grass to Ryan McKay, covering all the way from the lower shades of the grass in center field.
2-2. Curveball catches the zone, strike 3. Costello goes back to the dugout looking. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
On that hanger as well. He's taking the risk of throwing it inside to a righty 3 times in that count. And the last one, perfect location on the inside corner, and Costello didn't like it as he heads back.
Ryan Cooney, the last chance for the Braves to cross the first run in this inning as a first pitch slider is low and away. Cooney advanced to first on a fielder's choice back in the second inning. He's trying to avoid a fate that has plagued Bourne early in this ball game. The Braves have left at least one runner on base in every inning. 12-6 curve, catches. 1-1 count. Hyannis finding his groove with that pitch.
I think we're seeing on display the experience Carson Hyannis has gained from now a 7th start on Cape Cod. He's found a pitch that wasn't working for him before, and now it is.
1-1 fastball, catches the inside of the zone, 1-2. When Hyannis is not really dealing well, he gets down and counts early. Right now, especially in this inning, he's up.
Fully in the driver's seat.
Runner on second, 2 outs, 0-0 ball game. Cooney takes the curveball inside, not called for strike 3, but in a very similar spot to the last couple pitches.
Hyannis was convinced. He started walking off the bump, as did Brody Briggs from behind the dish. We'll see if he goes back to the hanger.
Hyannis kicks and fires. Curveball catches that time. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Carson Hyannis, and he strands the 5th Brave of the ball game on the bases, 0-0.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Top of the 5th inning, 0-0 ball game between the Braves and the Harbor Hawks. It has been a pitcher's duel early on, but both teams have had chances. The Braves have stranded 5 on base. The Harbor Hawks have stranded 6. So it's not like there haven't been those opportunities. Both teams just struggling right now in the category of runners in scoring position. Top of the order going to lead things off for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Owen Prince, Jace Doby, and Ryan McKay. Owen Prince 0 for 2 in this ball game with a strikeout. Trying to find a bit of his momentum, a bit of his rhythm as well. He can get as hot as anybody. Matthew Shorey still on the mound. He kicks and fires in the top of the 5th, and it's a slider away. Owen Prince is 3 for his last 8 after going 2 for 22 over the course of the 6 games before. Swings at the second pitch, delivers it into left field. A line drive single, and Hyannis has its speediest base runner on first.
Owen Prince flared a couple pitches the other way, both when he flew out in the first and when he struck out in the second. And here he gets some crazy spin, almost a boomerang, around the third baseman Braden Holcomb, shaded a bit towards short. It curls around him and into left field. And now with the speediest Harbor Hawk on first base, this is a dream scenario for Mitch Carricker.
Brings up Jace Doby. Doby takes an off-speed down low for ball 1. Owen Prince, he's only played in 15 games with the Harbor Hawks, and yet he's tied for the second most stolen bags on the team. He's not taking too far of a leadoff right now over at first. And now there's a check over on him. A big reason why could be that Shorey, the lefty, has a perfect view of how far Prince is leading off.
And this, of all the pickoff attempts he's made, I think would be the count where it would make the most sense to disengage 3 or 4 times because of how fast Prince is.
Shorey checks over on him again. Took 3 or 4 glances over at Owen Prince at first. Looked like he was going to finally set and deliver. He has been antsy all ball game long. Now the 1-0. Check swing on and off speed. He did not go around. Not many righties in this Hyannis lineup. Talked about that all season long. Only 3 tonight for manager Mitch Carricker, and Shorey's really been utilizing that changeup. He's a lefty on the mound, just letting it run a little bit arm side away from those righties. 2-0. Fastball fouled straight down into the dirt, and it looked like it got the catcher, Gavin Kelly. Kelly in some serious pain behind home plate. He's playing in his 31st game of the season for the Bourne Braves. Talked about how Brody Briggs has worn a few pitches just a half inning ago. He's only played in 21. For these catchers, it can just be so grueling.
It's the most demanding position on the baseball field, and Kelly's been a warrior all season long, as has Briggs and Dayton LeChance for Hyannis as well. And here it looks like he either got a piece of the bat or the ball from Dobie as he swung at that hanger. Didn't really look like it was coming in all too hot from Shorey, but sometimes that can happen where you have a bat that comes into contact with his hand. That right hand is limp for Gavin Kelly.
He's back up, taking a sip of some water, and he looks like he's going to get back down into his crouch.
This is the most telling sign of a catcher at the next level. The toughness they display, whether you're in JUCO or the SEC or the Big 12, in Kelly's case at West Virginia. These are tough guys behind the plate.
And that was the second injury timeout of the ball game for the Braves. John LeGrande, the center fielder, went down in the top of the first with a lower leg injury, but he is totally fine. Up and running over in center. Check over on Owen Prince before the 2-1 comes home to Jace Dobie. Prince absolutely a threat to steal, but hasn't really been looking like he wants to. Dobie already has a double in this ball game. He also popped out his most recent time. Another check over on him.
I think it's because Shorey knows, Prince knows that Shorey is picking people off at this clip. And he's going 4 or 5 times, so if he takes a step too far, even as fast as he is, he might not get back in time.
Shorey kicks and delivers. Ground ball slowly to the third baseman, Holcomb. It takes a weird hop away from him, and it stays fair. So both base runners are safe. Jace Dobie at first and Prince over at second. And Scott Landers is livid that ball was called fair.
Yeah, he's under the impression that this ball took a hop on that weird bounce that it trickled over the line, and he'll be told to go back to the dugout by Sam Finn. Just a tough break for Braden Holcomb, who gave it a good run, had to field it with the backhand, so it makes it doubly difficult. And it just takes that awkward spin off the chopper from Jace Dobie. Further goes to show you, if you put the ball in play, good things will happen.
This is already the third time in this ball game that Hyannis has had a runner in scoring position. Ryan McKay, 0 for 2 on the day, reached first on an error his first time up. Shows bunt, lays it down, but it just squibbles behind home plate. Hyannis had runners in scoring position in both of the first 2 innings. It was only the 4th time over the past 21 games that the Hawks have gotten runners in scoring position in both of the first 2 innings. And surprisingly, the Hawks have only scored in 2 of those games where they've had runners in scoring position in the first 2 frames. 0-1, McKay shows bunt, pulls it back. It's in for strike 2.
I think bunt is the right play here for Mitch Carricker, because if you're trying to generate runs, you've loaded the bases, you're getting some good run along the base paths, and you just haven't gotten the guys in scoring position outside of that second inning, and the bunt's the way to do that.
Runners on first and second, no outs. Top of the 5th, 0-0 ball game. McKay foul tips one straight back into the glove of Gavin Kelly. And there's one away in the top of the 5th.
And there's the other side of that decision to punt from Mitch Carricker, knowing with 2 strikes that you let your guys swing in for the fences. And Ryan McKay finishes 3rd in the Cape League in average, and that's with a very difficult stretch at the end of the season roped in there as well. It's a sign of respect to the kind of hitter McKay is. Just a bit late to that one.
McKay, the only Hyannis Harbor Hawk right now with a season-long average in the 300s. Camacho swats the first pitch into left field. Kalsevsik underneath it makes the catch. And 2 quick outs after Prince and Jace Doby start the inning with back-to-back singles.
And deja vu for Matt Shorey. This is what he's done so well. He's had the benefit of a couple first pitch outs like he got right there, stretching into his 4th inning of work. And you look at the scorecard, and after any sort of damage, the outs come quick and often for the lefty.
Brings up the hard-hitting Dayton LaChance, who has struggled in this ball game. 0 for 2 with a pop fly and then a weak ground ball over to Braden Holcomb, the 3rd baseman. First pitch. Changeup outside for ball 1. LaChance has put together a really good stretch of 4 games to end his regular season. On a 4-game hit streak, 2 multi-hit performances over the 4 games. And a huge performance against these Braves not too long ago. Pulled down the 3rd baseline, foul. Another off-speed pitch, and he was just out ahead of it. Against the Braves, LaChance went 3 for 4 with a double and RBI, and he also crossed home plate. One of 2 games against the Braves where he's had a phenomenal performance. He is 8 for 13 against the Braves in the season-long series. Shorey's 1-1. Fastball up and away for ball 2.
And the surprising part is that he struggled against a team that he is absolutely dominated, to be frank, this year. 7 of his last 7 against Bourne coming into the day. He's just, Shorey's beating him, quite frankly.
Shorey doesn't necessarily have the fastest stuff, but he's got a lot of good movement and creates weak ground balls. LaChance, this was not a weak ground ball, roped into left field, and it's down. Around comes Prince. Jace Doby gets the wave around 3rd. Hyannis trying for 2. Doby just out of the way of the tag, and Hyannis strikes first in the top of the 5th inning.
Case in point, there's the Dayton LaChance you know and love against the Bourne Braves. 2 home runs in his last big game against Orleans. And you can hear off the crack of the bat for some of those foul balls just how hard he hits it. This one is roped down the 3rd base line, bounces all the way into the corner by the foul pole, and an easy send for Mitch Carricker.
Dayton LaChance with yet another double as Schaffner shows bunt, pulls back, takes a fastball in the low part of the zone for strike 1. LaChance with 4 doubles against these Braves coming into the ball game. He just got his 5th. Something about Bourne just speaks to the tall right-hander. Schaffner takes a slider right down Broadway for strike 2. Jake Schaffner 0 for 1 on the day. Drew a walk his first time up back in the 2nd. Two outs in the inning. LaChance still on 2nd. Schaffner rips one right at the 2nd baseman. Ryan Cooney stretches out his left arm, makes the grab to end a quick and eventful top of the 5th for Hyannis. They lead 2-0 over the Braves. Bottom of the 5th inning, Hyannis with a big top of the 5th. Strikes first. It's 2-0 Harbor Hawks. And now it's on the pitching to lock it down. But as we've seen in some ball games that Yasa has pitched in, pitching with a lead is not always a certain thing.
It sure isn't, Graham, and it feels like it should be with the caliber of pitcher they have on the bump, but it just hasn't gone that way. Against Falmouth, he allows the 3 runs, and then, of course, his team comes back. That's a different scenario there. But for Carson Yasa in the 12th against Wareham, he goes 5 innings of shutout ball, and Hyannis ends up losing the game. And so when you think about the ways that Carson Yasa has both taken losses and won games this season, it hasn't been all too linear. But today, he looks like the Carson Yasa of old.
Yasa going to try to pitch for his 5th full inning against these Bourne Braves. Going to start against John LeGrande. Takes a fastball in the dirt for ball 1. LeGrande struck out his first time up back in the 2nd. 1-0. Just misses low and inside. Another fastball, 2-0. Carson Yasa, we saw him throw a lot of fastballs in the beginning of the 4th inning, and then once he established that zone, then he worked in the curveball a lot. 2-0 fastball, catches the outside corner for strike 1.
There's also a comfortability there with Yasa because the curveball wasn't locating, he barely threw it, and you don't see the fastball. You see the fastball more often than not. Then he finds it.
2-1, fastball low, 3-1.
And he finds it, and he feels comfortable enough to throw it for 2 wipeout curveballs to end that 3rd inning. But here the fastball hasn't worked for him either.
3-1. Fouled off down the first base side. It was the fastball again. That one low in the zone, and LeGrande just on top of it. Well, you got to bring your best stuff against this guy tonight batting in the 9-hole. He's got the 6th best batting average in the Cape League at 288, the 9th best on base percentage at 390. Yasa delivers. Curveball up and away, ball 4. That's the 4th walk of the ball game for Yasa. If this score changes in this inning, I think looking to the walks could be a big reason for why.
Leadoff batters, you said batting .316 against the Braves this year, or rather against Hyannis this year for Bourne. And that's not even to mention in the walks that have come there too. Leadoff walks have plagued Hyannis left and right this season. And there, Yasa it's not an all bad decision with the breaking ball to try and get the wipeout.
Devin Kelly takes a slider low and away for ball 1. Kelly 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs, has just been putting everything straight into the grass, hasn't been able to elevate quite yet. 1-0, fastball low and away for ball 2. We saw him get clipped in the hand behind home plate just a half inning ago, so wonder how comfortable he's going to be up there.
The 2 injuries that have afflicted the Braves today, both being made to be insignificant.
2-0. Nails one to center field, sending Owen Prince back towards the wall. He turns around, makes the catch, and it keeps John LeGrande over at first base, 1 out.
Impressive stuff from Owen Prince. Of course, he's got speed, but he backpedaled probably with 10, 15 steps to go and went the rest of the way backwards ahead of the wall. And so that's a big out for Carson Yasa with help from Owen Prince in center.
Owen Prince has become the everyday center fielder. With that speed, you can't put him anywhere else.
Mitch Carricker, like you said, wouldn't even think of putting him anywhere else but center, and with his speed along the base paths, anywhere else but leadoff or 9th.
1 out, runner over on first, 2-0 ball game Hyannis. Cade Lewis takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. Lewis 0 for 1 with a strikeout and also a walk. That came back in the 3rd inning. He's the 2nd most walks on this Bourne Braves team. It's 16 coming into the ball game. 1-0, fastball clips the upstairs and outside corner. Lewis has played pretty well against these Harbor Hawks over the season-long series. 5 for 19 with a double, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. The 1-1, grounded straight up the middle. Ryan McKay stops it on a hop, flips it to Charlie Bates, who doesn't have a play at first. But the Hawks do cut down the lead runner, and they're 2 outs in the inning.
That's a huge out at second base, and Ryan McKay had to make a flashy flick to Charlie Bates covering over from short. The field on the backhand took him into shallow center field, so he contorts the body towards second, towards his left side, flips it underhand, almost no look, to get it to Bates covering at second, and no surprise that Bates didn't have a throw, as that play just too bang-bang to get it over to first.
Manager Mitch Carricker out of the dugout on the mound, talking to his pitcher and the entirety of the infield, but no immediate reach for the ball. Chris Diaz has been warming up in the Hyannis bullpen, a high leverage reliever that Hyannis could be going to, trying to take this first game, because it would be big if the Hawks were to get game one.
It'd be huge, and it'd be huge to do it here at Doran Park. The Braves have won 10 of the last 13 all the way through the month of July, with just 3 losses here at home. That's an impressive feat when you consider the parity of this year's Cape Cod Baseball League. And for a Braves team that usually plays very, very well in the playoffs, it feels like as we get to the later stages of this game that at-bats like this one are going to be critical.
Mitch Carricker goes back to the dugout, and Carson Yassa stays on the mound to face Braden Holcomb. 9th best average in the Cape Cod Baseball League at .285. He's got a single tonight. He also grounded out. First pitch slider catches the zone. Holcomb checked his swing but couldn't commit to going around. Holcomb, he succeeded this entire season, but not so much against the Harbor Hawks. 2 for 15 in the season-long series. He struck out 9 times. 0-1 fastball, low in the dirt for ball 1. Holcomb is working now a 3-game hit streak, a 10-game on-base streak, hitting above .330 over that stretch of baseball. 1-1. Curveball finds the inside of the zone. That's a good sign that Carson Yassa is feeling comfortable up there. He's got 2 outs in the inning, a 2-0 Hyannis lead. Cade Lewis over at first base, and a 1-2 count. The pitch. Curveball right at home plate, misses well low. Holcomb almost bit, but now we'll look at a 2-2 count. Holcomb has drawn the most walks on this Bourne Braves team with 18. So he's not someone that you can avoid. He's got a great eye and will work a count full if he has the opportunity. Lewis over at first. 2 outs in the inning. 2-2. Fastball sent well foul down the first base line. That's what this guy does. He battles.
That's why he's been so good for the Braves for 2 full summers in a row. Going to the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship last year, he knows what it's like to be entrenched in these playoff series, and he's showing that experience right here.
Yassa shakes off a couple pitches from Brody Briggs. Now sets and fires. Runner goes. The pitch well inside. And it clipped him on the chest.
Now batting
yeah, it's an HBP. Just grazed that front part of his jersey. And just like that, there are 2 outs. And out comes Mitch Carricker. That leadoff pick from Ryan McKay over at second base almost negated.
So that is going to do it for the start. Carson Yassa delivering so far 4 very clean innings. Chris Diaz is going to come in and try to make it 5 for his starter. We'll be right back on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Owning a home means you can protect your family and put down roots in a community you care about. It gives you a place to celebrate the joys of daily living and be together during tough times. But for many on Cape Cod, home ownership is slipping further out of reach. Help make sure the American dream is available to the teachers, public safety professionals, and all the other people who make the Cape a special place. Visit capehousingmatters.org to find out more.
Still bottom of the fifth inning, a 2-0 ball game in favor of Hyannis, and with 2 outs on the scoreboard, manager Mitch Carricker is turning to Chris Diaz, making his 5th appearance of the Cape League season. He's pitched 9 innings, has allowed 1 earned run and 5 hits, that ERA at 1 flat. He struck out 9 and walked 2. And with this move, it is clear that Mitch Carricker wants to win this ball game and do so quickly.
Well, he wants his, arguably, over the last 4 games that he's gotten in since being activated on July 9th, his best high-leverage long reliever in Chris Diaz out of Florida Gulf Coast. He's only gone 4 times since July 9th, and that is a bit shocking given how well he's pitched. He's only allowed 1 run. It did come in his last outing against these Braves on July 31st, but he stretched 2 or more innings in every single of his 4 appearances. And for a guy that's got starter's length from his year at Florida Gulf Coast, it's a really clear decision, like you said, to get a couple innings out of Diaz and get to the setup man and eventually to the closer.
Maybe the only concern with putting in Diaz is this is his 3rd game pitching against the Bourne Braves. So you got to wonder if maybe there's now an advantage to the hitter seeing him so many times.
And the odd part about those 2 consecutive appearances against the Braves is that it's his only rest 6 days apart. So he should have been well rested. Not many Braves still, obviously a lot of roster turnover for everybody. So we'll see how it comes into effect with another long break here, 6 days exactly since the last outing against the Braves.
There's 2 out, 2 on. And Riker Waite up to the plate. First pitch slider inside and low for ball 1. Riker Waite 0 for 2 in this ball game. He struck out his first time up, flew out to center field most recently in the 3rd. He takes a fastball right down Broadway, 1-1 count. Waite is exactly who the Bourne Braves want up in this situation to try to get a run back against Hyannis. He's tied for the team lead in RBIs coming into this game with 17. Has the 3rd best average on the team at 287. 1-1 breaking ball low for ball 2.
And in a similar spot, the last time these 2 teams faced off here at Bourne Park, he had a 2-run homer to give Bourne the lead for good.
2-1. Turns on one, but it goes well fouled on the first base line. Waite in that ball game where he had that big home run was a double away from the cycle here at Bourne Park. He started home run triple, got the 2 hardest ones out of the way, and it got a single later on. He was hit by a pitch which took away one of his chances. Deuce's wild pitch. Popped on the infield. Diaz walking back to the dugout as Charlie Bates takes a couple steps onto the outfield grass and makes the catch. Chris Diaz gets the 1 important out and strands 2 more on the bases for Bourne. 2-0 Hyannis heading into the top of the 6th inning.
Owning a home means you can protect your family and put down roots in a community you care about. It gives you a place to celebrate the joys of daily living and be together during tough times. But for many on Cape Cod, home ownership is slipping further out of reach. Help make sure the American dream is available to the teachers, public safety professionals, and all the other people who make the Cape a special place. Visit capehousingmatters.org to find out more.
Top of the 6th inning, a 2-0 lead for Hyannis over the Bourne Braves in the first game of the divisional series. And the Braves turning to their first reliever of the ball game. It's going to be Drew Kennan. Kennan is making his first appearance tonight for the Braves, but not his first on the Cape. He made 2 appearances for the YD Red Sox earlier this summer, only pitched for 2 innings, only allowed 1 hit, and didn't allow a run. He walked 2, struck out 3. This is his 3rd different team of the Summer League, or of the summer. Also pitched for Upper Valley in the NECBL. He's kind of been everywhere.
And that experience should bode well for him in this outing, where he's not seen a lot of these guys, so he had to make the quick adjustment coming from the NECBL, then going to the Cape League with YD, a team that tumbled out of first place in the East Division, and he got a solid run. They're just 2 games and only stretched a couple innings, but for a guy that's seen Cape League action to then be reunited with a new team, he's one of 2 Braves that have already played for a different Cape League team this summer, a trend we've kind of seen develop over the last couple of months here on Cape Cod. I'm really interested to see what he can put through in a part of the Hyannis order that has not sprung all too much yet, with Devin Mitchell and Brody Briggs, or rather Charlie Bates, Devin Mitchell and Brody Briggs stretching this inning, but Bates in particular has been really, really good.
He sure has. 2 singles on the ball game. He also stole a base back in the 2nd. And it kind of felt like a long time coming for him. He came into this game on a 7-game hitless streak. His 2nd hitless streak of the season that stretched above 5 games. First pitch, fastball low. Charlie Bates goes ahead quickly. Bates plays very well against these Bourne Braves. Came into this ball game with a .364 average against the Braves. Drew 2 walks, had an RBI, and stole a bag. 1-0 fastball ripped right at the second baseman, Ryan Coney. And there's 1 out in the inning. That's a good start for Kennan. Getting that quick ground ball, can't ask for much more.
On the hottest hitter in the Hyannis order right now, and Charlie Bates. First time he's failed to reach tonight, and Kennan challenged him and didn't miss.
He'll now take on Devin Mitchell in his attempt to get a 3-up, 3-down inning in his first of work against Hyannis. Mitchell takes a slider outside for ball 1. Mitchell drew a walk his first time up, but then flew out, or lined out, back in the 4th inning. Mitchell takes a fastball up and in for ball 2. He's gotten hits in both of his last 2 starts. Those came on August 1st and 2nd at Harwich and at Orleans. He then pinch hit against Wareham on August 3rd. And in his 1 at-bat, wasn't able to get on. 2-0 breaking ball, catches the low part of the zone at the knees. And for a guy that got off to a pretty rough start, barring a pretty electric first appearance where he got a home run in his first at-bat, it's been very, very promising seeing how he's bounced back. 2-1 ground ball fouled on the third base line.
And in a way, it's somewhat backwards that after playing in 7 consecutive ball games since arriving here on Cape Cod, that with more sporadic play, he's gotten better over the last 4 or 5 games that he's played, with hits in 2 of the last 3.
The 2-2. Slider hit right at the shortstop. Riker Waite on the ground. Waite delivers a bit of a off-the-bag throw, but Cade Lewis was able to keep it in his glove for the second out.
Catcher number 32, Brody
Kennan will
Briggs.
take that. You didn't see it, didn't happen.
2 very quick outs for Kennan in his first inning of work, as he'll go up against Brody Briggs. Briggs 0 for 2 in the ball game, a ground out and a pop fly. Trying to reverse some pretty poor momentum against these Braves. Takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Briggs 0 for 8 over the season-long series against these Bourne Braves. The one saving grace is that he's drawn 6 walks, and with that, he's gotten 2 RBIs. 0-1 fastball, chopped right up the middle. Riker Waite charges in, plays it on a hop. The throw, not in time. Brody Briggs legs out an infield single.
That is so close, and you could take a sigh of relief, Hyannis fans. Man, oh man, was that tight. Cade Lewis, first of all, what a field by Riker Waite on that Baltimore chop. A really high ball that scales the pitcher atop the bump. He makes the quick hop on the infield grass on the charge as well and fires it just high of Cade Lewis. If not, that's the dream third out.
And with that swing and sprint, Brody Briggs ends a 7-game hitless streak. He also flips the order to Owen Prince, who takes a fastball at the knees for strike one. Prince 1 for 3 on the day, struck out back in the second. That one hit coming most recently for him back in the fifth. 0-1. Fastball low. Brody Briggs goes. Very late jump. The throwdown in time. Briggs gets a late single thanks to his speed, but his speed couldn't help him on the base paths. Still 2-0 Hyannis heading into the bottom.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Bottom of the sixth inning, Hyannis with a 2-0 lead over the Bourne Braves. Both teams have had a lot of chances offensively, have stranded a lot of runners, but are really struggling in that category of runners in scoring position. Coming into this game, over the season-long series, Bourne batting .250 with runners in scoring position, Hyannis .236. The big difference, the Harbor Hawks have had 37 more chances than the Braves.
That's an astounding number when you consider that, yeah, Hyannis did win 3 of the 5 games, but there was a game where Bourne, right here at Dorwin Park, made 5 errors and escaped with a 1-run win. While those hitting with runners in scoring position stats have been so jarring. And so that's a testament to the Braves, their ability to win close games en route to that West Division title. But for Hyannis, it's a greater indictment of the struggle with runners in scoring position that's progressed all season long.
Bourne has only had more chances with runners in scoring position once over the season-long series. That was in the final game, Game 5. Hyannis was 2 for 11, Bourne 2 for 14, as Cal Sefcik is going to lead off the bottom of the sixth against Chris Diaz. Diaz kicks and fires. Fastball at the knees for strike one.
And weirdly enough, Bourne lost that game in walk-off fashion just 6 days ago. So it's almost like the more runners, the more chances you have, the greater chance you have to lose.
0-1 fastball. That one misses low. Tonight, the Braves 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. The Harbor Hawks only 1 for 10. It was just a big hit from Dayton LaChance that brought home 2 runners. The 1-1. Breaking ball sent foul straight behind home plate, 1-2. Diaz got the last out of the bottom of the 5th inning. Got Riker Waite to pop out on the infield. Is 1-2. Breaking ball, fans Cal Sefcik, who swings and misses.
Now batting from Louisiana Tech, right fielder
Chris
number 8,
Diaz continues to
Sebastian
impress
Mexico.
for Hyannis. This is what makes him so good. He's now got multiple strikeouts in every outing but one. Rather, that's just the first strikeout, but he's got strikeouts in every outing but one. 3 in his first 3 appearances, and that's what makes him so impressive.
He's located the zone 70% of the time coming into this game. Fastball low and inside to Sebastian Mexico, who leaps ahead. .1-0. Fastball ripped into center field, but right at Owen Prince. There are 2 outs in the inning.
And for a Bourne team that came into this game, winners in 3 out of 4 en route to clinching the West Division ahead of the final day, looks like almost a bit like Hyannis did against Wareham on Sunday, where the pitching's been really good, but whenever the Braves have put bat to ball, it just hasn't fallen their way.
Luke Costello going to try to change that, but 2 outs already on the scoreboard in the bottom of the 6th. Diaz's first pitch, curveball, right down the heart. Costello drew a walk his first time up to the dish. That was back in the second. He struck out most recently in the fourth inning. 0-1. That time the slider hits the dirt. 1-1 count. Costello only playing in his second ball game of the Cape League season. 1-1. Inside. And it hit the batter. Costello got clipped and is going to first. That's now the second hit batsman in as many innings for Hyannis pitching.
Second baseman number 11, Ryan Cooney.
Really can go either way. You did hear something as it grazed off the protective gear. And now a second hit batsman of the game across both sides.
And Mitch Carricker out of the dugout to talk to home plate umpire Sam Finn. Seemed like Hyannis players and even fans were pretty confident that that hit the bat and should have been a foul ball.
Did hear a sound. You'd hear a bit more of a wooden sound there. Of course, it's hard to quantify exactly what that sounds like by me just describing it, but it is difficult. Mitch Carricker's not convinced.
Mitch Carricker still unhappy. Goes back to the dugout empty, though. Leads to Ryan Cooney. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. He did make his way to first base thanks to a fielder's choice back in the second. Cooney takes a fastball on the low outside corner for strike one. Cooney batting a .417 average against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks over the season-long series. The 0-1. Slider catches the same corner, and Diaz ahead 0-2.
It's a really good pitch, both parts of the zone where Costello chased on that first strikeout looking from Carson Yasa.
Diaz can't get the fastball past Cooney, who fouls one down the first base line. But you could hear him grunt on that pitch. He wanted it.
Really threw almost instead of pitch. Just trying to get a little bit more on that one.
Hyannis leading 2-0 over the Braves in the bottom of the sixth. 2 outs and a runner on first. The 0-2. Curveball fouled straight back behind home plate.
It was a great fight from Ryan Cooney as well, a guy that's played in 4 of the 5 matchups against Hyannis this year. So he's familiar with these Harbor Hawks, the pitching staff, the philosophy of the guys on the bump, and especially from Blaze Martinez, the pitching coach, about where they're going to challenge him. And he's read it all the way so far.
Another 0-2. Fastball fouled down the first base line again. 3 straight foul balls for Cooney. This kind of fight, it's going to eventually benefit the hitter.
All it takes is Diaz to have one of those non-competitive misses or for Cooney to stretch on a chase pitch from Diaz.
0-2. Fouled another fastball down the first base line.
His timing is there, or rather the swing decision is there. He knows when. It's just the timing, rather, that hasn't been there. And eventually, Graham, like you mentioned, you won't see Cooney miss that if Diaz keeps throwing the ball like he has.
This is Cooney's 7th at-bat against Chris Diaz. First of this ball game. 0-2, fastball up at his head. He turns it away.
And there's the flip side of the coin of fouling 5 pitches off in a row, that when a ball flies up in the zone like that, you're not immediately tempted by it, and you settle right back in and try to get back in the driver's seat.
1-2, breaking ball gets Cooney swinging. Bookend K's. Keep it a 2-0 ball game in favor of Hyannis as we head to the top of the 7th and leave way for Max Schwartzberg to take us home.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There's been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here in the top of the 7th inning, a 2-0 Harbor Hawks lead over the Bourne Braves at Doran Park. Max Schwartzberg alongside Graham Nash to take you through the rest of the way. And Jace Dobie will lead it off for Hyannis against Drew Kennan. It'll be 2-3-4 for Mitch Carricker with Dobie, McKay, Camacho, Dayton LaChance, the white-hot LaChance. If anybody gets on base, and a really productive inning back in the 5th, Graham, where Hyannis finally broke through.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it all began with that leadoff hit. Owen Prince with a single backed up by Dobie, who got one of his own, thanks to a little bit of messy defense from the Braves, though. But man, Owen Prince setting the tone. The first time in this ball game that the Hyannis leadoff hitter got that hit. That's all it takes sometimes for Hyannis. They have really struggled in that category. Hyannis leadoff hitters right now batting a .228 average coming into this ball game. And Prince, he's going to try to repeat a performance.
I want to correct myself. Owen Prince was up when Brody Briggs was caught stealing, so it's top of the order. Prince, Dobie, McKay. So kind of a fresh start for Mitch Carricker here in the 7th, facing Drew Kennan for another frame after the starter went the first 5 and a first pitch chopper to first base. Cade Lewis to his right, flips to the pitcher, covering in time for the first out of the inning.
Well, that's a great way to start if you're Kennan. He got 2 really quick outs in the top of the 6th via pretty similar balls, just weak grounders. Briggs kind of got away with a single on another weak ground ball, but that's just his game. He's so good at pitching to contact.
Jace Dobie's had a nice night at the plate. He's halfway to the cycle so far. First pitch fastball at the top of the zone, 0-1 from Kennan. Guy coming off a 2.6 earned run average at Virginia this past spring, making his first appearance on the Cape and a late season ad for the Bourne Braves. Ahead in the count 0-1. The offering is ripped on the other way. That's past the second baseman, Ryan Cooney, and sprinkles into right field. A 1-out single for Jace Dobie, who grabs his 3rd hit of the night. And the Harbor Hawks, something brewing here in the 7th.
That's also the first time that a Harbor Hawk has hit a line drive off of Kennan. It's been so many balls on the ground, just kind of squibbling up the dirt. That time, Dobie got a really nice piece of that baseball.
Ryan McKay, 0 for 3 today. Having a meeting with Mitch Carricker, of course, Hyannis' manager and third base coach. Harbor Hawks have left quite a few on this game. 6 innings to be exact, but in that 5th inning, they finally broke free. Okay, guy who had a torrid start to the season, then cooled off a little bit, and they got right back on his horse, and now back to leading the Harbor Hawks in batting average and leads the Cape League and that margin as well. With so many guys departing, the active leaderboard is changing each and every day.
He's just been good at fighting in every at-bat that he has. He never really...
And he swings through the first pitch here, 0-1.
He never really is out of a plate appearance. Even when there are 2 quick strikes on him, it's always a safe bet that he's going to put bat to ball at least once because of how strong and short his swing is.
Takes an 0-1 fastball on the outside part of the zone. He did not like the call from Sam Finn, and he falls behind nothing in 2 with Jace Dobie on first base. 1 out, 1 on, a 2-0 Harbor Hawks lead here in the visiting half of the 7th inning. Drew Kennan ahead in the count, 0-2 to McKay. The offering is swung through, strike 3. Ryan McKay down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight, and it's out number 2 here in the 7th.
Well, I think I might have announcers jinxed him there a little bit, saying that he pretty much puts bat to ball on everything. But I think that all just kind of stemmed from the frustration with Sam Finn on that strike call. And the second pitch of the at-bat, he was not happy at all with it.
Gabe Camacho toes in for the 4th time tonight, 0 for 3 against the starter, Matthew Shorey. Takes the first pitch away for a ball. Camacho, a guy who it's very good to see him in the lineup considering he exited early against Wareham in the 9th inning after being hit by a pitch he was pinch ran for by Miles Davis. Ahead in the count 1-0, and he swings through the breaking ball, and the count level, the ball and a strike apiece.
He was in some serious pain after taking that ball on the foot. It looked like he was seriously hurt, but very, very good sign that he's right back at it.
Man on and 2 outs. 1-1 to Camacho is taken downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. And the game prior in Orleans, he also got hit in the foot. It was the front foot against Wareham, the back foot against Orleans. And it's got to be frustrating when you're up there in the box.
And he was telling home plate umpire Sam Finn there, telling Kennan that he's got to look the batter in the eye.
Camacho ahead in the count, 2-1. The offering is tapped foul by the catcher Gavin Kelly. Of course, the past inning he took a painful one, and Sam Finn going to give him some professional courtesy and walk the baseball out.
Not exactly sure what else Sam Finn was doing. Might be in correlation to that pause he just took a moment ago to tell Kennan to look the batter in the eye, because he walked up there with Kelly and said something to both of them.
Of course, the pitcher has all 20 seconds on the pitch clock. The batter has to be ready and engaged at 8 seconds. Dobie on first, a 2-2 pitch coming up to Gabe Camacho. Kennan kicks and fires, and Camacho swings and skies it into foul territory. The catcher, Gavin Kelly, giving chase and has room to make the catch for the final out of the inning. Harbor Hawks leave Jace Dobie on first base. A 2-0 Hyannis lead heading to the bottom of the 7th.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
When I started teaching on the Cape 30 years ago, you could buy a house on a teacher's salary. But today, teachers, public safety officers, healthcare and hospitality workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
Back here at Doran Park now in the bottom of the 7th inning, a 2-0 Hyannis lead and a new pitcher on the mound for Mitch Carricker. It's the left-hander Sam Garewal making his 7th appearance of the Cape League summer. Last time out against Orleans, he went 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, but it was the walks, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts, so he did strike out the side. That was a crazy back-and-forth affair against the Firebirds at Eldridge Park, but a nice 3.24 earned run average on the summer.
And he's replacing Chris Diaz, who had a very, very clean appearance. Yet another for the right-hander. 1 1/3 pitch, no hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts. And the big category of that appearance, no walks. Carson Yasa dealt 4 in his start. So for Chris Diaz to keep that clean, it could get the Harbor Hawks pitching back on the right track a bit.
Chris Diaz has been so reliable for Mitch Carricker this summer. He gives him what he needed. As we now enter the later innings, LeGrande, Kelly, Lewis, 9-1 and 2 due up for Bourne. So you got 2 lefties in there in LeGrande and Lewis. Kind of going for the matchup, Mitch Carricker. We did not see Garewal on Sunday against Wareham, so he is well rested.
He is well rested, and there's only one other lefty in the lineup, and that's Sebastian Mexico, all the way in the 6th spot. Had to count real quick. And so I think you're exactly right that Mitch Carricker is pitching to this matchup. It's very, very favorable for Garewal.
Hyannis has left 8 on base. They're 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, but Bourne, the big story of the day, 0 for 7. And Harbor Hawks, they pitched in and out of trouble all night long in a game that they've walked 4. As John LeGrande steps up to the plate to lead it off here in the home half of the 7th. His Braves are down 2-0 to the Harbor Hawks in Game 1 of the Division Series on the West. Going to go left on left against Sam Garewal. The Stanford Cardinal, teammates with the shortstop, Charlie Bates. And the first pitch of the bottom of the 7th is launched to right field. A long run for Devin Mitchell toward the warning track, and he's got room about 3-5 feet in front of the wall to make the catch.
Now batting from West
That ball
Virginia,
had that
pitcher number 7,
piercing
Gavin Kelly.
flight of a long ball, but LeGrande just a little bit underneath it, and a cold night. If that was a little bit warmer, it probably would have carried at least to the track. But Devin Mitchell with a little bit of help there from the cold.
I'll turn it over for top of the order, Gavin Kelly, who faced only the starter Carson Yassa, was 0 for 3. Left on right. Gerwal out of the stretch, comes home. First pitch fastball misses low, a ball and no strikes. And for Bourne, this is a team, the best batting average as left-handed hitters in the Cape League at .261, OPS at .721, but against left-handed pitching, 8th in the Cape League at .243. So those left-on-lefts are so difficult. But you got the favorable matchup right here.
Gerwal, the first lefty that Mitch Carricker's throwing at this Bourne Braves team tonight. Kind of surprising considering that stat, but the righties have locked it down.
1-0 pitch was in their first strike. Now the 1-1 from Gerwal is taken down low, went to the slider. Fastball, slider, changeup mix for the lefty on the hill. Although as the season has progressed, we've seen him go more to the changeup. Earlier on, he wasn't using it at all.
I bet we see it a lot here against lefties.
On a 2-1, the right-handed Kelly takes a slider on the inside corner. The count level at 2 balls in 2 strikes. 1 out in the inning, nobody on. A 2-0 Harbor Hawks lead here in the last of the 7th inning. Gerwal kicks and fires the 2-2, and the fastball is just low. Brody Briggs framed it for Sam Finn, but to no avail, so the count will run full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter.
And look good. The bottom of that zone has kind of been up and down with Sam Finn. Some pitches called strikes, some not.
Here's the payoff, and it's lined to right field. Devin Mitchell will have to play this one on a hop. A 1-out single for Gavin Kelly, and the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate in Cade Lewis.
Now batting from Wake Forest.
Well, that's big because the top and middle of this Bourne lineup has been pretty quiet. Kelly 0 for 3 going into that at bat. Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb also not very successful. Neither Riker Waite in that cleanup spot, so that could maybe bring a little bit of juice to the top of this Bourne order.
And you go back to that left-on-left matchup. This has been where Bourne and Scott Lander's squad has really struggled. Sam Gerwal going to look to take advantage and potentially roll a pair with a breaking ball down in the zone. Instead, he hammers a first pitch fastball in the outer half, and the count moves to no balls and a strike.
And even the fastball down at the knees, so regardless of the pitch, it seems like Gerwal is going to zone in pretty hard on the bottom of the inner black.
Lewis is grounded into a team-high 5 double plays this summer. Granted, he has played a team-leading 38 games now, including tonight. A check over at first, and Kelly is back standing. Hyannis with the most strikeouts in the Cape League at 381. They got 7 tonight through 6 1/3 frames. On an 0-1, Lewis swings through a slider, and a 0-2 advantage for Gerwal.
There's that pitch, left on left slider. Going to be so hard for Cade Lewis to find it. Gerwal and other lefties will probably just keep going back to it in this series against left-handed Bourne hitting.
1 out, 1 on, and an 0-2 pitch coming up to Lewis. Gerwal fires home, and there's a chopper left side that'll kick foul down the third base line. We'll do it again at 0-2. And Gerwal staying really well into the strike zone right here. He's trying to go straight after the lefty, Cade Lewis.
Yeah, it's impressive, too, because over his first couple appearances, he's only found the zone around 60% of the time. Right now, it feels like every pitch is somewhere in the zone. He's really doing a good job of taking it to these hitters.
10 pitches, 7 strikes for Gerwal. With Kelly on first, the 0-2 once more, misses well inside. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes to Lewis. Strikeout back in the first inning. He walked in the third and grounded into a 4-6 fielder's choice in the 5th that allowed him to reach base, but he was stranded. One of 8 Braves stranded along the bases tonight. They've left at least one on base in every single frame. 1-2 offering is slowly chopped to second base, charged by Ryan McKay, and he misses it on the hand. He tried to go for the bare hand, and he's not able to make the play, and it'll be an infield single for Cade Lewis. And just like that, back-to-back knocks for the Braves.
Really unfortunate for Gerwal, very fortunate for Lewis. That pitch was beautifully put in the bottom of the zone. A picture-perfect double play pitch, and Lewis just barely got his bat on top of the ball, one of those very slow high choppers, and it was just far enough away from Gerwal where he couldn't field it, and then McKay had a really tough play and just couldn't quite make it.
Tying run is at first base in Cade Lewis. 2-0 Harbor Hawks here in the bottom of the 7th. But another opportunity for the Braves, who have struggled tonight converting with runners in scoring position. 2 on and 1 away. The first pitch to Holcomb is a fastball upstairs, a ball and no strikes. Bourne .265 average with runners in scoring position. That's 3rd in the Cape. 1-0 away. Try to go with the backdoor slider. And a 2-0 advantage to Braden Holcomb. And he puts himself in the driver's seat assertively here. Holcomb will walk back in the 5th. And a single all the way in the 1st. All the way back in the 1st. Grounded out in between those 2 plate appearances. On a 2-0, Holcomb swings and fouls it to our left. A loud clink on one of the poles.
That was bone-chilling sound.
Hyannis with the second highest opponent batting average with runners in scoring position at .265. Another opportunity here for the Braves, who have really struggled with men on base. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. That could change here in the 7th. 2-1 pitch coming up to Holcomb, and he takes inside on the slider. Had to get his hands out of the way. 3 balls in, a strike now. And Gerwal, who had 7 strikes through his first 10 pitches, now 9 strikes through 16.
He's kind of lost command of that breaking pitch. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to the fastball, just try to find the zone a bit more.
3-1 the count. The offering misses down in the dirt, ball 4. A 5-pitch walk for Braden Holcomb, and the Braves will load the bases here in the 7th.
Shortstop number 3, Riker Wade.
Well, that's the category that can really come back to bite Hyannis pitching. It's the walks. Hyannis has walked quite a few batters this season, the 3rd most in the Cape League at 189. And Carson Yasa, although he kept it clean through the 4 innings of his start, did walk 4 batters. Chris Diaz didn't walk any. And so for Gerwal, this is a bit of dangerous territory, getting into the free pass category early on.
Bases full of Braves, and the Vanderbilt Commodore Riker Wake coming up. Switch hitter will bat right-handed for the first time tonight. The last time these 2 teams played at Doran Park, he was a single shy of the cycle. Kelly on 3rd, Lewis on 2nd, Holcomb on 1st. 1 out in the inning. Hyannis looking to roll a pair in dire fashion. First pitch misses downstairs, went to the slider, and Sam Finn does not budge. A ball and no strikes to Riker Waite. Gerwal from the stretch. On a 1-0 pitch, Waite takes at the knees with the fastball. Count level at 1. A must-throw strike, and Gerwal executes.
And a really good bounce-back pitch. That slider had been missing quite often between the start of this at-bat and Holcomb, so to go to the fastball and find it is huge.
Game 34 for Waite. And the 1-1 is a fastball in a similar location, but that one downstairs. 2 balls in, a strike. Gerwal and the entire Hyannis dugout really wanted it. 2-0 Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the 7th. Bases full of Braves with 1 out. On a 2-1, Waite grounds it right side. Ranging to his left, Ryan McKay's only got one play at first. He makes it as Gavin Kelly scores in the back door and cuts the Hyannis lead in half. Now 2 outs in the inning, but a 2-1 game here in the bottom of the 7th.
And that's the only play for McKay. Got to just allow that run to come home and then trust your pitcher and defense to get this last out. Riker Waite, he's got some good speed and nearly beat that out regardless of an attempt to turn 2.
So still 2 men in scoring position. Lewis at third, Holcomb on second, Cal Sefcik at the plate. First pitch is on the inside corner, goes back to that slider. Now consecutive at-bats opening it up with the breaking ball.
He clearly feels comfortable with it. He likes it a lot. It just kind of started to go haywire against Holcomb a little bit 2 batters ago.
Still yet to see the changeup from Gerwal today. 0-1 the count. The offering is on the hands and fouled off to the right. That'll find its way out of play. And a nice catch by a kid down the first base side.
You'd think that this would be the time and place to use that changeup. Going up against a righty, it's got some good arm side movement. Gerwal, the lefty on the mound, could really get a swing and a miss with it.
Ahead in the count, 0-2 to Sefcik. Lefty kicks and fires, and it gets a swing and a miss. Goes to the slider once more and K's up Sefcik the second time he's down on strikes. Bourne does score 1, but they leave 2 in scoring position. 2-1 Hyannis heading to the 8th.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Here in the top of the 8th inning at Doran Park, Hyannis a 2-1 lead, and the white-hot Dayton LaChance will face Drew Kennan for the first time tonight. It'll be 5-6-7 for Mitch Carricker. Dayton LaChance, Jake Schaffner, Charlie Bates, Devin Mitchell, a chance if anybody gets on base. And even though Bourne scored 1 in the top of the 7th, Hyannis has an opportunity to get right back on its horse.
Yeah, they really do, especially after Jace Doby kind of showed them the way in the top of the 7th, getting a nice line drive single against Drew Kennan. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see Scott Landers make a pitching change after Schaffner's at bat, because then it would go to Charlie Bates, who led off against Drew Kennan back in the 6th inning. All of these Hyannis bats pretty much have gotten good contact against Kennan, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a change.
Right-handed hitting Dayton LaChance, who's got a 2-run double in this game. Now 8 for 10 on the season series against these Braves with 5 doubles. First pitch, fastball, clips the bottom of the zone, 0-1. We've talked a lot this season about the difference between LaChance as a DH versus as a catcher, but a lot of that is LaChance versus the Braves versus not the Braves.
8 for 13 against the Braves coming into this game. That's a .615 average.
Swings through the 0-1 breaking ball, and the count moves to no balls and 2 strikes from Kennan. Of course, LaChance only faced the starter, Matt Shorey. His double is the difference in this game. And once more, Sam Finn walks up to Drew Kennan and tells him he cannot start his motion until Dayton LaChance is making eye contact with him. And now the third base umpire, Rick Force, is calling time. And I believe they're getting him for the exact same thing.
Yeah, this might result in a change of the count. But Sam Finn didn't see anything. This is all from Rick Force, the third base umpire.
Rick Forrest and Sam Finn's meeting has concluded. And they will add a ball to the count because he started his motion without making eye contact with LaChance. So finally a penalty in play for the premature start. Of course, the rule is the batter has to be looking at the pitcher at 8 seconds. The pitcher has all 20 seconds to throw the baseball. Now a 1-2 count. And the offering to LaChance is taken down low. There was the slider. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Really good spit there from Dayton LaChance because that was the pitch that got him with a wild swing just a moment ago.
Nobody on, nobody out. 2-1 Hyannis here in the top of the 8th. And the 1-2 is lined to right center field. A long run for the shortstop, Riker Waite, who makes a leaping grab into the outfield to rob Dayton LaChance of a base knock.
That's a second really nice play for Ryan Cooney in very similar fashions. A ball just kind of over his head, and he makes a leaping grab to getting out on the scoreboard.
So a man out, nobody on. Jake Schaffner coming up. First pitch fastball, misses low, 1-0. Schaffner a walk back in the second, but since then he's grounded out and lined out. Third baseman Holcomb playing even with the cut on a potential drag bunt attempt as Schaffner gets sorted on a 1-0 and fouls it off to the left out of play.
That pitch well inside on Schaffner. It was kind of a safety swing. He was playing a little bit of defense, spun all the way out of his box and took a couple steps away from home plate to settle himself.
On a 1-1, Schaffner grounds it slowly to shortstop, charged by Riker Waite, throws on the run and in time for the second out of the inning.
Now batting from
this is the pattern that has started to plague Hyannis, especially over the past couple of weeks. Early offense, and then in those middle innings, things kind of quiet down, although in this game, it didn't. But in the last 3 is kind of when Hyannis' offense really slows and sometimes completely just falls off the planet.
Charlie Bates up for the 4th time tonight, 2 knocks on the day, and he gulps the first pitch to left center field. Long run for Cal Sefcik, and into the gap. The left fielder reaches up and makes the catch for a 1-2-3 inning for Drew Kennan. 2-1 Hyannis heading to the bottom of the 8th.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes have like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Bottom of the 8th inning, a 2-1 Harbor Hawks lead here at Doran Park. Sam Gerwal going back out for another inning of work. He's going to face 6, 7, 8, so he's got a lefty in there in Sebastian Mexico. Luke Costello, the righty, and Ryan Cooney, the righty, follow him. Then back to another lefty, John LaGrande, a chance if anybody gets on base. But kind of a theme of the night, Mitch Carricker really trying to hone in on those same-sided matchups.
Yeah, it's been important. It's been crucial. And we saw Gerwal have a little bit of a success with that back in his last inning. Got LaGrande to fly out to right field. Cade Lewis was the only one that had some success. He worked it late into a count. It was a hitter-friendly count, and he got a single. So Sebastian Mexico, he's got to be swinging pretty early and often, it feels like, because Gerwal didn't really go down, especially early in that inning. 10 pitches and 7 strikes to begin his first of work. He was peppering the zone.
Now batting from Louisiana, tag right fielder
on the
number
day
8,
now,
Sebastian
Bourne has
Mexico.
left 10 on base. They're 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They had that 4-3 RBI ground out back in the 7th from Riker Waite, but besides that, it's been the story of the season for these Braves. They've really struggled with those clutch hits. Left on left with Sebastian Mexico. The first pitch fastball from Gerwal misses upstairs by the letters. A ball and no strikes. Mexico will walk back in the second inning, but he's popped out in each of his last 2 plate appearances. On the 1-0, he takes low. 2-0 the count now to the right fielder.
And Bourne's struggles, kind of surprising, just kind of looking at the stats, the numbers specifically. They've got the best batting average in the Cape League, but can't get those hits, like you said, in big moments.
Good hitters count here to Mexico. The 2-0 offering. Scoots him inside for ball 3. Fastball that Brody Briggs tried to frame, but to no avail. And a 3-ball count to open up the frame. 2-1 Harbor Hawks here in the last of the 8th. Gerwal kicks and fires the 3-0. And the fastball's taken on the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike.
Mexico very new to this team, but someone that the Braves are really hoping can get going. He was an CCBL All-Star with the Broxton Rocks.
3-1 is in the air to left center field. Long run for Jace Doby, and the left fielder has plenty of time to haul in out number 1.
Now batting from Wake Forest.
Big first out. That's how Gerwal started his first of work with John LeGrande, another very, very talented hitter. And Mexico was in a very hitter-friendly count, just kind of got underneath it, scooped it out of the bottom of the zone a little bit too much, and an easy play for Jace Doby.
Well, from the NECBL, you got Luke Costello from the Perfect Game Collegiate League, so a couple of late-season ads for the Braves back-to-back in the order, and he checks his swing and goes around on a first-pitch fastball from Gerwal, 0-1. 12 games with Amsterdam of the Perfect Game Collegiate League, and only playing in Game 2 for the Braves. 0-1 the count. The offering from Gerwal is swung through. A challenge fastball upstairs. No balls and 2 strikes.
Now Gerwal finding his mojo. He's finding it with every pitch. That slider has looked comfortable for him all day, but that fastball now really doing some damage just below the letters.
On a 0-2, Costello strikes out swinging. Gerwal goes back to the gas, and he's got his second strikeout of his outing.
Number 11, Ryan Cooney.
And he's clearly feeling it now. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and Costello goes back empty. And that was a favorable matchup for the hitter as well. It was a righty v lefty.
Ryan Cooney, a guy who's punched out twice tonight, coming up for the 4th time. Left on right, first pitch fastball is fouled back to the screen, 0-1. And for Gerwal, this is when he's at his best, when he's really jumping ahead of hitters, because the walks have been a concern of his, especially earlier on in his summer, but he's really toned that down as of late.
Yeah, we just kind of saw him lose a bit of his edge when he would go down in counts.
0-1, foul to a similar location, and a 0-2 advantage for the tall lefty on the hill.
But it all seemed to kind of turn around for him when he found a go-to pitch. In some appearances, it's been that slider. Today, it's looking like it's turning into that fastball. He's found a pitch that he can lean on every appearance.
Still have not seen the changeup today until now. A strikeout as he pulls the string, and Gerwal works a 1-2-3/8 frame. 2-1 Hyannis as we head to the 9th.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Top of the 9th inning here at Doran Park, and Hyannis is looking for some insurance. A 2-1 Harbor Hawks lead over the Braves here in Game 1 of the postseason. and it'll be 8-9-1 Devin Mitchell, Brody Briggs, and Owen Prince to face Drew Kennan.
Drew Kennan going for another inning. I mean, he's looked pretty comfortable. It was up and down first inning. He got a quick out for Owen Prince, but then Jace Doby hit a single and looked like he kind of laid the groundwork for how to get hits against this guy who had really been doing a good job pitching to contact. But man, Kennan said, nuh-uh, you don't have anything. 3 up, 3 down, 8. Line drive, ground ball, and another line drive, all pretty weakly hit. He's gotten right back in the saddle.
Well, this is his first game for the Braves, but he did pitch in 2 games for YD this summer. Devin Mitchell swings through a first pitch breaking ball. 0-1. And there's that wipeout slider that Kennan has found as his out pitch tonight.
Yeah, and the Braves have been really excited about Kennan specifically because of that pitch. It's so strong, so tight.
Goes right back to it there, but it misses downstairs. A good adjustment from Mitchell as he went back to the exact same location.
And for good reason. I mean, he got Mitchell to bite on it just a moment ago. And this is a really big guy to acquire this late in the season. Already a bit of Cape experience this summer, although it was only 2.
1-1 is skied to shallow center field. Late break for John LaGrande. And it's the shortstop, Riker Waite, who reaches up to make the catch for out number 1 here in the 9th.
Well, a good catch from Waite because LaGrande really was late on that jump, and he suffered a bit of that injury earlier on in this ballgame back in the top of the first. He's still running pretty well, but clearly not at 100%, so he wasn't going to get to that baseball. Good on Riker Waite to just take it on himself.
The Harbor Hawks backed up. Brody Briggs coming up for the 4th time tonight. He picked up 1 of 2 hits against Drew Kennan so far, and the first pitch misses down low. A ball and no strikes to Briggs. Has emerged as the everyday catcher down the stretch of the season, but earlier on, kind of alternating every other day with Von Lackey and then Stone Lawless. And he lines the 1-0 into right field. That's for a base hit.
And Brody Briggs, I think, very happy about the fact that he's now turning into the everyday catcher. About halfway through the season, I talked to him during batting practice, and he said that he was pretty bummed that he had to change starts or exchange starts with other catchers because it couldn't really let him get into a groove at the plate. Tonight, he's kind of starting to find that groove. That now is second hit.
That'll turn it over top of the order, Owen Prince. Grounded out against Kennan, his first time up back in the 7th against this right-hander. And the first pitch misses low, a ball and no strikes. Prince has scored 1 of 2 runs for Hyannis, along with the guy who waits on deck, Jace Doby. 2-1 Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 9th at Doran Park. 1-0, fastball clips the outer black, and the count level at a ball and a strike apiece.
Kennan going back to the heater, just catching it on the outside of the zone there. It's got a bit of movement to it. It's a really nice pitch. Can bend away a bit from the lefties.
1-1 misses well up and away. 2 balls and a strike. And for Prince, another guy who's had consistent starts at the top of the order, but he's still looking to find that consistency and really getting his rhythm. A guy who we know can do that, just that. Stole 21 bases before coming over to the Harbor Hawks in his past summer ball experience. 2-1 bounces in, 3 balls and a strike with Briggs on first base.
And Prince seems to be getting more comfortable as of late. This is now his 3rd game in a row with a hit after kind of being very up and down in those middle innings.
3-1 well upstairs. That's ball 4. The first walk of the day for Drew Kennan. Gives the Harbor Hawks a runner in scoring position as Brody Briggs moves up another 90 feet.
Well, not only the 3rd walk on the day, that's a pretty impressive number for Bourne pitching. Hyannis has just kind of been able to get clutch hits despite not getting the walks, which has been not really something we've said a whole lot of often.
Scott Lander is going to make a pull to the bullpen. A lengthy relief appearance for Drew Kennan will meet the new arm on the other side of this break.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Imagine
been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed, or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Back here at Bourne Park in the top of the 9th inning, and Hyannis has a rally going on. Brody Briggs on second, Owen Prince on first. A 2-1 Harbor Hawks lead, and the Braves will turn to their trusty southpaw, Will Whalen. But last time out against Hyannis was on July 31st, and he delivered the game-winning wild pitch that allowed the Harbor Hawks to take a win, but he has been nothing short of nails this season. A 1.31 earned run average over 22/3 innings. Arguably the best left-handed reliever in the entire Cape League.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable, and maybe the only thing that is going to hurt him against this Harbor Hawks team is that this is going to be his 3rd appearance against the Hawks. He got the win, actually, against Hyannis back on July 16th when the Braves won 7-6. He pitched for 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and he struck out 3. But just looking at those Harbor Hawks that hit, 7 of the 9 that started in that game are also starting here tonight. And one of the 9 that didn't start tonight, or that isn't starting tonight, that did start then, is Jeff Lugie, who will likely be up again in a nearby or recent upcoming game. The Braves like this guy a lot, and he's kind of out for revenge against Hyannis after delivering that walk-off wild pitch. It's been said that he wants to go as often as he can in this series against Hyannis.
Whalen, a Big Ten guy at Minnesota, and Jay Stobie, of course, at Nevada, so not part of the Big Ten, but then you got Ryan McKay out of Michigan State. A lot of these guys, of course, this summer have seen Whalen a lot, but especially collegiately as well. Very well known, and one of the biggest spots of the season, arguably, now in the postseason. It's a new season that has started here on the Cape. 2 on and 1 out, a 2-1 Harbor Hawks lead. Jay Stobie coming up to the plate, who's already got 3 knocks in this game alone. Most recently, a single in the 7th against Drew Kennan. Hyannis looking for some much-needed insurance here in the 9th. First pitch. Fastball greets him on the inner half. 0-1.
Straightened him up, too. Dobie thought that there was more break to that ball than there was, and he just stood right up straight.
Bourne looking to roll 2 here. Got their infield in double play depth. The 0-1 offering. Fastball at the top of the zone. No balls in, 2 strikes to Dobie. 3 of Hyannis' 9 hits. Hyannis 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. They have left 8 on base. And a check over at second with Brody Briggs dancing around. They want a balk called, and he will get it. He turned in the wrong direction at first and then went over to pick off. As Scott Landers is furious. Sam Finn, the home plate umpire, made the call.
This is now the 3rd or 4th time that Scott Landers has come out to express his distaste and dislike of Sam Finn's call, and he's still out there barking, sharing his thoughts and his words. But Sam Finn was the one that jumped on that. You're right, none of the other umpires really moved.
And he just gave a warning to Scott Landers, who's still barking as he makes his way back to the third base dugout. Now 2 Hawks in scoring position looking to come home to the nest here in the 9th inning. A 2-1 Harbor Hawks lead as the Braves bring their infield in. Whalen ahead 0-2. Lefty kicks and fires, and he launches to left center field. Long run for John LeGrande, and he makes the catch. Brody Briggs comes in the tag. Owen Prince heads up to third base. And LeGrande It's a sac fly for Jay Stobie, and Hyannis grabs a much-needed run of insurance.
LeGrande still not doing too well on that leg that he hurt in the top of the first. He came up hobbling, just kind of had to turn and fire one because he couldn't stop on that leg to plant and throw a good one back into the infield. For a second there, Mitch Carricker actually gave Owen Prince the wave around third, but held him up at the very last second.
Ryan McKay takes a first pitch bender on the outside corner. He doesn't love the call. He has not been happy with Sam Finn at all tonight. From one Big Ten guy on the mound to another one at the plate. Whalen out of Minnesota, McKay out of Michigan State. Owen Prince on third base. A 3-1 Harbor Hawks lead now here in the ninth. Lefty kicks and fires the 0-1. Breaking ball down low. Checked his swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Third base umpire Rick Force delivers the news. And the frustrations have risen for McKay tonight. 0 for 4 with 2 punch-outs. And a lot of that frustration was Sam Finn behind the plate.
Yeah, he's been so unhappy with a couple of the calls, and the last time he was up, it looked like it kind of ended the plate appearance for him.
1-1 offering is a fastball taken at the knees. A ball and 2 strikes to the Michigan State Spartan.
And he's unhappy again. He still was kind of talking down to himself and even in the direction of Sam Finn after that was called strike 2.
1-2 the count. Whalen kicks and fires, and McKay takes down in the dirt. A nice stop by Gavin Kelly that will keep the speedy Owen Prince at bay and anchored at third base.
That was pretty clutch, quite frankly. Kelly, that was well off the plate, and he found a way to slide and stop it.
2-2 count coming up to Ryan McKay. Lefty kicks and fires. McKay grounds it back to the mound. Whalen knocks it down. Fires low to first base, but in time. Hyannis grabs a run of insurance on the Dobie sac fly. They'll take a 3-1 lead headed to the bottom of the ninth.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
It's closing time here at Doran Park. Game 1 of the Division Series between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves. Harbor Hawks on top 3-1 here in the bottom of the ninth inning, and they turn to their closer, old reliable Ryan Speciok. 18 1/3 innings this summer, a 1.96 ERA. From one Stanford Cardinal in Sam Garwal to another one in Speciok. Mitch Carricker's back into the bullpen has been on fire. Scott Landers is still furious with all umpires. He's talking with Rick Force and Sam Finn. And as we remind you, back in that top of the ninth inning, it was a balk called against Will Whalen that he was not happy about.
Yeah, and he got a warning. No movement there to toss him, but it got pretty rowdy. At one point, it looked like he was going to get
Back here, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We briefly lost power. Still, John LeGrande still has not seen a pitch from Ryan Spechiak. And the center fielder coming up for the 4th time tonight. The Hyannis closer fires. First pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. 3-1 Hyannis here in the last of the ninth, trying to close it out and grab a Game 1 win in the division series against the Braves. 0-1 goes to the outside part of the plate, but that one too far away. Count level at 1. Nobody out, nobody on. Grande the first to face Ryan Spechiak. Righty kicks and fires, and a swing and a miss on the breaking ball. A ball and 2 strikes as he has him way out ahead. Spechiak from the windup. Righty comes home, and LeGrande swats it foul off to the left out of play.
He's got a really good 2-strike approach, chokes well up on that bat, and just puts bat to ball. Really compact swing, but he's still going to need the best of his 2-strike approach against Spechiak.
Spechiak picked up the loss against Orleans. It was a walk-off single in the 10th. He's looking for redemption, and the 1-2 is fouled straight back to the screen. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes.
Before that appearance, he actually got the win against these Bourne Braves. Dealt for an inning, only needed 16 pitches, and that was when Will Whalen, Bourne's best closer, threw the wild pitch that allowed the walk-off. But this, now the 2nd time that the Bourne Braves are getting a look at Spechiak.
Spechiak, a team-leading 10.8 strikeouts per 9, and that's only going to get higher. He strikes out John LeGrande on a backdoor breaking ball, and 1 out in the 9th.
Catcher number 7, Gavin Kelly.
Well, that's what he's just so good at, switching up speed, switching up location. You'll never see the same pitch on back-to-back pitches from Ryan Spechiak. It is something different every time, and nearly every time it finds the zone.
Gavin Kelly for the 5th time tonight. Bourne just looking for a base runner. First pitch, fastball misses away. A ball and no strikes. 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 Harbor Hawks the advantage here in the bottom of the 9th at Doran Park. Looking for that Game 1 win here in the division series. 1-0 to Kelly. Misses up and in. 2 balls and no strikes to the leadoff hitter. On a 2-0, Kelly takes out the knees. Goes back to old reliable right there with the heater.
That's the pitch you got to swing at against Spechiak. If he throws the heat and it's somewhere middle low of the zone, that's when you've got to fire. But Kelly kept that bat on his shoulder.
2-1 offering is in the air, foul off to the right out of play. And challenges him with another heater. The count level at 2, Spechiak. A prolific strikeout pitcher. We saw that on display against John LeGrande, who led off the inning. And he goes back to a 2-strike count. Hyannis, the most strikeouts in the Cape League at 381. And the 2-2 offering is lined to left field. Jay Stobie sizes it up and makes the catch for out number 2. Hyannis 1 out away from a Game 1 win here in the division series.
Spechiak looks comfortable. He's built for these kinds of moments. He's only been brought in this season in games where Mitch Carricker has thought the Hawks could win, and those games have often been close, 1 or 2 runs. He's already got 3 saves on the season. Those came in 3 of his first 4 appearances. He is ice in his veins.
Cade Lewis takes low for ball 1, a fastball that danced and flirted with the bottom of the zone, but to no avail. Spechiak, when he faced these Braves on the 31st and picked up the win, only 1 of 2 outings this year without a strikeout. He has 1 today against LeGrande to lead off the inning. And the 1-0 fastball in a similar location on the outside corner. 1-1. Outfield and no doubles defense. Infield Back by the grass. 1-1, fastball at the bottom of the zone. Strike two. Hyannis 1 strike away from jumping ahead 1-0 in the division series. Ryan Speciak has been swing and miss all summer long. 1-2 offering and a big swing and a foul tip from Lewis, who buys another pitch.
He got about as much of that baseball as you can on a miss. He just kissed it as it went by.
All the drama of postseason baseball here at Doran Park. A packed house still with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Harbor Hawks on top 3-1. The 1-2 offering is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Ryan Speciak slams the door, and Hyannis buys a 1-0 lead as Brody Briggs is in a complete shouting match, and the benches have cleared. Brody Briggs was going at it with Cade Lewis. Hyannis wins this game 3-1, but a scrappy series, and what a start from Doran Park.
Well, both sides are being separated. Hyannis pumped up, and all due to the pitching. I mean, Hyannis pitching from start to finish was A1. Carson Yassa only allowing 2 hits, no runs, one of his best starts in recent memory. And then backed up by Chris Diaz. Gerwal with a little bit of a slip, 2 hits and 1 earned run. And Speciak, who else do you want to close it in that moment? The pitching was special tonight.
Ryan Speciak picks up 2 strikes on the day, and Hyannis and Bourne, it's been a scrappy season series, and the emotions being let out right there. Brody Briggs very vocal with Cade Lewis. They've been going back and forth all game, but a 3-1 final score from Doran Park. Hyannis takes a 1-0 lead on the series, and Mitch Carricker and Scott Landers are going to have an interesting day tomorrow. But for everybody here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, for our sideline reporters, Ava Fernandez and Ethan Wax, for our producers, Charlie Adams, James Kluggish, and Daniel Bottolino, for my partners, Giovanni Collada and Graham Nash, I'm Max Schwartzberg saying thank you for listening. We'll see you at McKeon.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.